up those guest requests, I'd go over my position. So I don't think that abortion should be banned. In fact, I'm going to be pro-choice all 9 months. And if you think abortion should be banned, hop in those guest requests. But at the end of the day, I think that proponing legislation to ban abortion is fundamentally wrong, and it strips all women in America, all 170 million Americans, right, from their instrumental access to healthcare and fundamental rights such as bodily autonomy. For everyone coming in here from Parker's Live, I appreciate y'all for being here. Let me know if you're excited down in that chat for some debates. In fact, I'm going to go ahead and do a quick poll. Respond with a smiley face if you're a fan of these abortion debates and a sad face if you're not. But without further ado, let's go ahead and, hop right into the debates. So let's go ahead and see what Nonchalant Jay has to say. Couple things here. If you're in the guest request, make sure you think abortion should be banned and that you're over the age of 18. Oh. So what's up, Jay? Let's see if you followed the rules here, bud. Do you think that abortion should be banned?
Yeah, you can drop me. My bad, man. I didn't mean to get on.
No worries, no worries. Moving on to our next guest here. Guys, let's try to get up to 50,000 likes. Make sure that we're double tapping. And Ash, thank you for the roses. We get our next guest loading in here. What's up, Reckless? Do you think that abortion should be banned?
Yeah, I think abortion should be banned because...
Oh, God, hey, cut it out. I understand why you think abortion should be banned. You are protecting your own rights. You are a fetus. Moving on to our next guest, let's go ahead and see what PHY Lit has to say. Ladies and gentlemen, L Fetus in that comment section. Hello, how old are you?
I'm 24.
Awesome. Do you think that abortion should be banned, sir?
Yeah, I was curious because you said that you grant all 9 months.
Yeah, so why do you think that abortion should be banned?
Well, I grant sentience.
Okay, so do you not think that abortion should... So you think that abortion should be banned to win? At what point?
Let's do 21 weeks.
Okay, so I grant sentience as well. However, there's like other forms of abortions that, after the point of viability that would not result in the death of the life of the fetus, such as inductions and C-sections. But just due to the fact that you have a 21-week cutoff, you are literally pro-choice. We are just looking to talk to people that are pro-life. We're going to move on to our next guest, Mac here. Ladies and gentlemen, make sure that we're double tapping away on our phone screen. He was pro-choice as all hell. What's up, Mac? Are you pro-life? Do you think that abortion should be banned?
Yeah.
Okay, why so?
I don't fucking know, man.
Okay, so I'm gonna go to. Oh, you love me, man. I appreciate
you, bitch.
Well, that was very bipolar review. Alana, thank you for the $5 on Venmo. Killer Kicks. I got you. Drop a comment. We're gonna move on to our next guest, guys. Just be patient with us here. The last guest, that was I love you, I hate you, unironically. What's up? Do you think that abortion should be banned?
Yes.
Okay, and how old are you?
I'm 18.
You're 18. All right, go ahead and tell me why you think that abortion should be banned, sir. Take it away.
Because you're killing children.
Oh, because you're killing children. Hey, honestly, my 6-year-old niece could have given me a better response. You absolutely are ending the life of the fetus. You just have to demonstrate why that's morally wrong. You can't, right? Yeah. What do I mean? What do you mean? So, unironically, right? Pro-lifers that don't really have education on the topic, that don't have good reason why it's wrong, just hide behind this moral shield of virtue signaling, where you just say you're unaliving kids and you're doing all these bad things. Let me tell you. Oh, okay. So, tell me why that's wrong.
So I have to tell you why it's wrong to kill and murder.
So what's the definition of murder, sir?
Unalive someone.
So the definition of murder is going to be the unjust ending of a human life. And I specifically think that it is justified in the context of abortion for a couple reasons. First, I don't value all biological life. I only value sentient biological life. I'd be lying if I said anything else, right? And specifically before 24 gestational weeks, that fetus is not sentient. Therefore, it is not a life form that I value. More so, I think it's abundantly morally wrong to force sentient life, aka the mother, to provide her resources to the fetus, aka non-sentient life, for 9 months. That is a moral atrocity, sir.
Yeah, but in 9 years, that child could be a living human, you know what I mean?
Oh, wow, 9 years, it could be a living human. You're absolutely right. It could also be a psychopathic murderer. It could be the next Hitler. I don't think that potentialities matter. And just to kind of push this notion a little bit further, hey, man, the sperm in my nuts right now, in 9 months' time, those could be just as much of a baby as any other baby. So would you say that every time I masturbate, I'm committing genocide?
No.
No, so we don't really care about potentiality. That's essentially what you're telling me. Do you have an actual argument here, or did you just kind of come up here to virtue signal, say that we're murdering children to essentially perpetuate your misogynistic ideologies that do reduce down to infringing upon all 170 million American women's rights and vital access to healthcare?
Okay, but see...
Gagged. You don't have shit to say. Hey, take your time, man.
It don't... Okay, so here... Alright. Alright, I'll come back.
And we're going to go ahead and move on to the next guest chat. Jax, I appreciate you for the subscription. Alrighty, let's go to move on to East Coast Crest. Ladies and gentlemen, alright, what's going on? Thank you for the hand arts. Are you pro-life?
You're on here all the time. You need to get a real life. You like
I have a real life.
People.
My girlfriend, my hot-ass girlfriend is sitting right besides me. My nice-ass car is sitting right outside.
Let's see it.
The gym is screaming my name, and my biceps are so sore from the massive
Let's see it.
Oh, babe, thank you for the cup of water. So honestly, all I hear from you is a really emotional man. And the reason I think you're emotional is because I'm up here standing up for women's rights and vital access to healthcare, and you don't fucking like it. So instead of addressing my arguments, hush down, put a muzzle on it. Instead of addressing my arguments with reason, logic, science, fact, any of the above, you just come up here, seethe, cope, whine, and scream like a little baby. Maybe you're defending your own rights. Are you a baby? Are you a fetus? Are you still in your mother's womb? Is that why you don't like abortion? I don't know. Let's go to see what he has to say.
You're getting mad because you have no life and you're on TikTok all the time. Let's see your car and your girlfriend.
You sounded like such a Discord mod when you said that. All nasally and shit. Let's see your car and your girlfriend. Shut the fuck up and cry.
You don't have it.
Oh, wait. I don't?
Show us. Come on, all talk. All talk. Can't get her face on because she's fucking ugly.
Alana, thank you for the $3 on Venmo. Pumpkin, thank you for the glowing jellyfish. I appreciate you so much for the love. W Pumpkin, thank you so much. On a real note, do you actually have a counter argument? Or are you just screaming, crying, and like seething and moaning and whining?
That's what you do on every live, dude. You never really have an argument.
Oh, wait, I don't have an argument? I'll give you my argument for why I'm pro-choice.
No, so I don't want to fucking hear it.
Oh, wait, why
really
not?
Don't. You're a crybaby, dude.
And wait, who's the one literally crying on my live right now? Is that you?
You're a fucking prick to people. You don't really debate nothing.
Wait, and you don't think that it's like rude or, as you said, like PRICK-ish to, I don't know, vote for legislation that inevitably reduces down to infringing upon the rights of 170 million American women? I hurt your feelings, so you think I did something wrong, but when you restrict the access to health care and vital personal rights such as bodily autonomy for all women, you don't think that you're doing something wrong? You seem a little bit self-centered and egotistical.
Shit.
Oh, you don't vote for shit? Let's get a W guess, guys. Damn, bro, you're absolutely gagged. Hey, man, do you have an actual argument? Oh, hey, also, hey, Jason, thank you for the $10 on Venmo. I appreciate you for the love, brother.
See all that
Let's get a W.
Let's get it. Bitch. Yeah. What up, comments? This guy's a prick, dude. You just come in here and fucking argue with people. You don't really have debates. You get all emotional every time somebody calls you the fucking G word. You have no car. You won't show your girlfriend. Go fuck yourself.
Hey, how many continents are there? Oh, he couldn't answer that one. He absolutely couldn't answer that one. You know what I mean? Chat, all right, before we move on to the next guest, I'm going to go ahead and expose that man for everything that he was. And that was a hypocritical asshole, right? Because at the end of the day, Chopper, I appreciate you for the subscription. We cannot forget how emotional the misogynistic men get when they hear women should have rights. Oh my God, they get so fucking pissed. It's incredible, quite frankly, how insanely emotional these men get. But don't worry, I mog the fuck out of him. I have more friends. I have a hotter girlfriend. I have a better life. I have a better car. I have everything, quite frankly. That's why he's so upset. Hey, how old are you?
Oh, I'm 15. But
You're
I want
15.
to be.
You got to be at least 18 to be a TikTok live. I do appreciate you for coming up here. We're gonna go ahead and see what our next guest, Jeremy, has to say. Keep in mind, guys, if we are in those guest requests, that we are at least 18 and that we do think that abortion should be banned. All right. Hey, what's up? Do you think that abortion should be banned? Are you pro-life?
No, I was actually wondering if you were accepting friendlies or this was just debate.
Yeah, we're just looking for debates, Jeremy. I appreciate you for coming up. W Journey. All right, moving on to our next guest here, y'all. Let's go to see what our next guest has to say. The Sit and Chat podcast. We got him loading up here, guys. Everyone just allow us a minute. All righty. Hey, what's up? Do you think that abortion should be banned? Or are you pro-life?
I just got a quick question, bro. How much money do you make on this, bro? I'm so curious, bro. How much money do you make?
If you're really curious,
all I wonder.
If you're really curious, you could just sit down for a live and add up all the donations I get, but I don't just share that number publicly. Appreciate you for coming up. We're gonna go to move on to our next guest. Like, if you're really curious, you can sit down and figure out. Oh, are you driving?
Yo, can you hear me?
They were driving, chat. Unfortunately, we got to move on. Everyone, just be patient with us while we do get our next guest up in here. Y'all just got to give us a minute here, guys. Everyone, just allow us a minute here. If you are pro-life and you do think that abortion's wrong, hop in those guest requests. What's up? How old are you?
18.
Yeah, what year are you born in?
2005.
Are you pro-life? Do you think that abortion should be banned?
I think it should be banned depending on, like, the case. Like, I feel like it really depends.
In what scenarios should it be banned?
Like, if you're just messing around with a whole bunch of people and you're not using protection and you're just not even on birth control and you don't want to have a kid, then why are you doing what you're doing?
Yeah, this just seems like you want to punish women for decisions that you deem as irresponsible. Because when you say that, like, abortion should be allowed in cases in which you think that the woman was acting in a responsible manner, but it just so happened to occur she got pregnant from sex. But then you're like, it should be banned in scenarios where you think the woman was acting irresponsibly. All that you want to do here is not only punish those women who you subjectively deem as irresponsible, but you also want to punish their children, and that is what is gross. You're like, if they wore a condom, they're not murdering a baby in its healthcare. If they didn't wear a condom, they're murdering a baby and they should go straight to hell, right?
Whoa. That was a lot to take in.
I'm so sorry. Full sentences can be rough for people at times.
No, that was more than a sentence. But anyways, I'm not necessarily saying that I'm trying to ruin the baby's life. Adoption is a choice.
Which ruins babies' lives. So we see higher rates of rape, higher rates of SA, higher rates of drug abuse, higher rates of imprisonment. We see lower median wages. We see lower rates of education. And then we also see those Christmas trees in Walmart, advocating for random shoppers to buy them Christmas presents because no one fucking cares about them. So I absolutely think that banning abortion, punishing the woman, and then punishing the kid by either forcing them into the household of a mother and a father who don't want them and are not ready, or forcing them into the adoption care system is really ugly.
Okay, but the fact you're bringing up, like, specific examples, like, I can bring up plenty of specific examples where people have been adopted by loving families and had great lives.
Yeah, sure, but we're talking about what is most likely to occur, right? And we know what is most likely to occur is not a situation in which we would say is good. But even if it was to be the case that the adoption system and the foster care system actually did give these children great lives, we still wouldn't say that that would justify turning, like, women into like these forced incubators for 9 months for a fetus in which are sucking out their their bodily resources without their consent. Like, that's not going to justify these extremely crude, barbaric ideologies.
Okay. Well, they're not forced to do anything because of the fact that they made that decision on their own.
Oh, wait, no, absolutely. Hey, I have a question. If I put a shirt on and then, I don't know, the government or like my girlfriend didn't allow me to take it off, would I be forced into keeping my shirt on?
What?
You heard me.
I definitely heard you, but that doesn't even, like, what does that have to do with anything? Like, what?
I mean,
The
I got
government wouldn't
so if
tell you what
let me give you another example. If I go out to my car, I open up the door and I sit down in the driver's seat, but then some stranger comes up and holds my door shut, am I being forced into remaining in the car?
I guess.
Okay, so even if you think that like women get themselves into the situation of being pregnant by engaging in intercourse, if they cannot terminate said pregnancy, they're still being forced into pregnancy. In the same way I chose to get into the driver's seat of my car. But I think all of this is completely irrelevant because at the end of the day, the life of the fetus is not morally valuable because I don't think we value the lives of anything that don't possess consciousness, that don't possess sentience, and prior to 24 weeks, that's simply not the case when we're talking about the life of a fetus, right? And I just think under any circumstances, it is going to be absolutely morally abhorrent to force a woman to maintain a life in which we do not consider valuable.
Why is everybody saying I'm under 18? What? Where are you getting that from?
Can you respond to my argument?
Sorry, I got distracted in the comments.
Yeah, no shit. I could probably pull up a picture of some polka dots and you'd be in the clouds. Did you like remember what I said?
I just don't understand your point at all. Like,
Oh, okay, I'll make it again. I don't value all forms of biological life. I only value forms of biological life that are conscious, that are sentient. And a fetus becomes conscious, a fetus becomes sentient at 24 weeks. So before 24 weeks, I don't think that their life is valuable, right? And this is exactly why getting an abortion for a reason, any reason, or no reason at all is more than morally permissible. It is nothing more than a woman exercising her simplistic right to her own bodily autonomy.
okay, I'm just gonna go back to this. She made that decision to get pregnant. And I already said it depends in the case. And if
Hey,
she
Cammy,
did
can
not
you
make
actually
that
respond to my
decision-
argument?
No, because your argument's bullshit.
Cammy, how many continents are there?
7.
Okay, so can you please like demonstrate how my argument is bullshit?
It's like where are you going with this? I don't understand. Like, I'm trying to make my point, which is it depends on the case.
Okay, Chad, we gotta move on. We gotta move on. We're gonna move on to our next guest. She was just not that bright, like at fucking all, quite frankly. Drop the views. Oh well. No way. Someone in the comment section just said, "Bro lost the argument, so I had to quit." What is the IQ? Hi, how old are you? Mr. Bulk? Okay, she's not even here. I bet that same person is gonna say, "Bro lost the argument, so he had to quit." Please. Oh wait, he's actually in the guest request. He's actually in the guest request. The person that said, "Bro lost the argument, so he had to quit." You think that I lost the debate that I?
You're a loser.
Oh my god, this is gonna be a. This is gonna be a.
Get Sean. Hey, guess what? I don't give a fuck what you have to say. Eat shit, buddy.
Hey, Acid, so I'm just going to go and demonstrate this to you. If you leave the live, you're simply running away.
Demonstrate how I can unmute myself.
So I want you to be an alpha male and actually like demonstrate to me like an argument. So I'll just specifically ask you this question.
What? I'm going to keep interrupting.
Why should abortion be banned?
Hey, why shouldn't I get banned? Because I don't give a fuck.
No, I said why should abortion be banned?
Oh, why should it be banned? I don't fucking care.
How many continents are there? More better yet, what is a continent?
Hey, how many brain cells do you have?
What is a continent?
Hey, what is a state?
Acid, are you unable to answer my question?
I'm always able to answer the question.
So what is a continent?
What is a continent?
Yeah, buddy, that's what I fucking thought. Moving on. All right, let's go ahead and see what Jensen has to say. All right, Chad, if we're not able to send out here in a little bit, we are going to try out a restart, guys, but we're going to go for like another 10, 15 minutes. But if we don't start like growing up, we're just going to go ahead and restart and move on to another topic. I think that the abortion topic is a bit washed at times. What's going on? How old are you?
I'm 19. I just wanted to say.
How old are you? What
I'm
year were you born in?
19. Nah, I wanted to say I agree with you, bro. That's it.
Oh, hey, man, I appreciate you for coming up to be guest. All right, moving on. Y'all, if we restart, should we go to the God topic or, maybe talk to some more people today about why they think being a lesbian is wrong? We're going to go to get our next guest up in here. What's going on, Sierra? How old are you?
I'm 18.
Perfect. Do you think that abortion should be banned?
In some cases, yes. What I believe is, if somebody got pregnant by not their decision, it is not their, it was not their choice, then I think it should be right. But if they just don't have the baby in general, they should put it up for adoption so it has a chance to have a better life.
What year were you born in?
2005.
What month?
I think September 19th.
That would make you 18. Chat, what do y'all think? What year did you graduate high school?
This year.
You're not 18.
Okay, think what you want, buddy.
She said that like a true fetus. All right, last guess we're going to try. Last guess we're going to try before the restart. What's up? Do you think that abortion should be banned? All right, automatically left. She thinks. Yeah, bro, for real. One more guess. I guess the guest requests here on the abortion talk tonight are not doing that well. We're going to move on to our next guest. Try them out here before we move on to our next topic. We'll try out Harm. Hey, what's up? How old are you?
20.
Awesome. Do you think that abortion should be banned, sir?
Nah, I just wanted to you like talking about money, right?
D-Big? Is that you?
What the fuck is you talking about? You like talking money, right?
Not really.
Yeah, you was talking about it earlier. Let's compare real quick.
How many? Oh, wow. Hey, how many branches of government are there?
I don't live in America.
Where do you live?
The fuck is that, bro? Get off my dick, tight shit. The fuck is you on?
Oh, good lord. Where do you live?
Trying to, get your wallet real, tight shit.
What country do you live in? You live in America?
No, I don't.
So what country do you live in?
Canada, dumbass. Oh, here goes a Canada question.
Okay. What are the two languages that are predominantly spoken in Canada?
Oh, wow. Let me think real hard here. English and French, dumbass. Now, can we compare wallets, bro?
You know what? Let's see your wallet.
And closet, too. Closet, right?
You're going to have to explain to me what this means.
You were literally calling people, broke earlier, talking about your, bitch-ass car. I'm just trying to, show you, who you're talking to, for real.
All that smack talk with a Fortnite profile picture, buddy.
Is that Fortnite? Is that Fortnite now?
Absolutely fucking dunked. We're gonna go ahead and restart the live, and we're gonna talk to people about why they think God exists. So for the 1.7 thousand people in here, make sure to come back. I don't think that we're sending out to the For You page right now, so hopefully a restart will help. I mean, something very similar was happening to Parker. So yeah, let's just go ahead and do a restart. And when we get back in here, make sure that we're double tapping on that phone screen. Make sure that we are sharing out this live with a couple of friends, and then also make sure that we're hopping in this guest request if we do think that God is real. I will see all of y'all here very, very shortly. And across the For You page, make sure that we are spamming those likes, spamming those shares if you have friends, if you don't, just copy that link, and spamming that comment section. So obviously, I do not think that the Christian God is real, and if you disagree, make sure to hop in those guest requests. We're going to let our first guest request up as they come. So let's go ahead and see what they have to say. We already got a lot of people pouring in here. I see that Cammy's in there again. I don't really know if I want to talk to her. And a TikToker, make sure if you are in those guest requests that you do not think that the Christian God exists, all things considered. What's up? How old are you?
18.
18, sweet. Do you think that the Christian God is real?
Yeah.
All right, why so?
No, I love you so much, Dean. You know, I just love you, baby. I fucking love you so much, baby. I want you to suck
That was crazy. That was absolutely crazy what he said there at the end. All right, we're going to go ahead and move on to the next guest here, chat. That was crazy. That was a good point to cut him off. That was a really good point to cut him off. What's up, Jensen? How old are you?
I'm 18.
18, sweet. What year are you born in?
2005.
Awesome. Do you think that the Christian God is real?
I do.
Awesome. Why so?
So if somebody was making a claim and hundreds of people decided to die for that claim in the most brutal ways possible back then.
Oh, you mean like Prophet Muhammad and like the hundreds of thousands of people that died for Islam?
The eyewitnesses that saw him rise from the dead, they died in the most brutal ways possible.
Who are you talking about? His apostles?
Yeah.
Yeah, how do you even know that they were real people?
Because of the scriptures.
Okay, so you're basically saying that you have to assume... One second. So you have to assume the scripture to be true in order to prove that the scripture is true?
No, you do your research.
Okay, so yeah, what research can you present me that he even had these apostles? I'm unconvinced that they were even real men.
Well, first off, you have to assume that God is real, and
so you just have to assume that God is real in order for God to be real. Get the fuck out of the live, buddy. Moving on to our next guest here. Wow, let's go ahead and see what our next guest here has to say, guys. Make sure if we are in those guest requests that we do think that the Christian God is real here, chat. Yeah, we got to assume that the Christian God is real in order for the Christian God to be real. What's up? How old are you?
I'm 19.
19, sweet. Do you think that the Christian God is real?
Yes, and can I tell you why?
Yeah, awesome. Yeah, can you give me an argument that proves the existence of the Christian God?
Yeah, for sure. Dean, the reason why God is real is because we need to build the roads.
Get the fuck out of here. Did you change your profile picture, your name, all for that? Get the fuck out of here. We're moving on to our next guest. Right, keep in mind, guys, for everyone coming up in here, we just restarted the stream. Make sure to help me out by double tap it on that phone screen. Also, additionally here, if you want to, help me out by spamming the comment section on that quick poll. What's up, Sasha? Do you think that the Christian God is real?
Yes, I do.
Awesome. Can you give me an argument for the existence of the Christian God?
Okay, so before I do, can I know why you don't believe in him?
Yeah, well, I think that there's like a multitude of reasons not to believe in the Christian God. For first off, like I think that the problem of evil is successful in showing how the current world that we live in is incompatible with the Christian God. I think that it makes no sense to say that the Christian God would have been perfect, because this means he would also have been perfect prior to the point in which he created us. So if you were to have a reason to create us, that would mean that it was desirable for him to create us. But how can a perfect being desire anything? Wouldn't this make them imperfect as well? Then additionally here, I think, the fact that there's 3.6 million children that starve to death annually really presents an issue for God, because he could have just simply designed our biological systems to function in such a way as to where that did not occur, and he would have prevented those deaths. And I think God was bad for not preventing those deaths. Then also, I don't think that there's any like credible or reliable argument for the historicity of the resurrection of Jesus Christ. So there's actually a multitude of reasons.
Okay. Wait, you just made a really good point. Okay, so you said that because you're basically saying because of this God that you don't believe in, kids are starving and all that stuff, right? So that's giving you a reason to not believe in him, right?
Yeah, starving kids does give me reason to not believe in the Christian God.
Okay, so let me explain to you. So God, in the book of Genesis, he created the earth. He created light and he created the dark. He created Adam and took one of Adam's ribs and created Eve as a partner for him.
I know the creation story of Genesis. Please don't preach.
Okay, my bad. So God created human beings, right? But let's say this. Let's say you're on the streets and some person tells you, just wear red. Why are you wearing blue? Are you going to listen to that person?
I don't, you didn't present me with any reason why I'd want to listen to them.
Right. So you wouldn't. You know why? Because it's your free will, right?
Is free will compatible with not being able to do bad things?
Okay, so listen.
I asked you a question.
God created us humans, right? God created us humans, but he gave us a free will. Whether we want to go rape someone or murder someone.
Hey, don't say RIP, say grape. Okay. Does God have free will?
What?
Does God have free will?
What do you mean? Like, explain. Does
God have free will?
Okay, I don't think you're understanding. When God created
I'm asking you a question. This doesn't concern creation or humans. I'm asking you about God.
Of course
does
it
God have free
does.
will?
Of course this concerns creation and humans.
No, it doesn't. I'm talking about God. Nothing else. Does God have free will?
Like, what?
Like, is this all it took to fucking break you? Asking a simple question about the character of God?
I'm trying to explain so you can understand the point because I'm not great
When
at it.
Jesus walked the earth, did he have free will?
Of course he did.
Yeah, did Jesus have the ability to do bad things?
Yes, he did, but he chose not to.
So then God is not necessarily good.
How was he
If
not?
God has the ability
chose
to do bad
good?
things, then goodness is not an essential attribute of his character. Maze, thank you so much for the knockout. I appreciate you for the love. Massive W Maze for the knockout. I've never seen that gift before.
But that
W
doesn't
Maze,
make
guys, thank you so much for the love. Massive W Maze, y'all. Massive W Maze, guys. Yeah, we'll go ahead and present the issue to it in this way. I don't think that God even has the ability to choose to do evil. You just straight up can't do evil, right? Like, I'll just simply ask you a couple questions here. So my first question is, can God make logical contradictions true?
Okay, God can do anything.
So God can make a squared circle exist?
A what circle?
A squared circle?
That doesn't even have to do with the fact that he exists. That's
I'm
my
simply
point.
asking you about the properties of your
Well, hold
God
on,
in order
hold
to
on.
make an argument here.
You're asking me why I believe God exists, so let me finish.
No, I'm trying to demonstrate to you conceptually how like it's not necessary that we have the ability to choose to do bad things in order for us to have free will. Like God can't choose to do bad things, but yet God has free will. The same could also be said about the people in heaven, right? So when you say that the reason evil exists is because of humans' free will, well, God could have given us free will without allowing evil to exist. So that's like the issue at hand.
But why would God want to force us to do something?
That's what I'm saying. It's not forceful in the slightest because we still have free will. I mean, like, let me put it this way, right? So if you're walking into the grocery store and you want some cereal, so you go to the cereal aisle and there's 15 different boxes of cereal. Well, it seems like in this scenario, there's 16 choices you could make. You could either buy each and every single one of the cereal boxes or just walk away, right? Would you say that your free will was restricted because you didn't have a 16th box of cereal that you could choose from?
No.
No. So free will is nothing more than being able to freely choose in between what you can do, right? So God could have just made it so we can't do evil, but yet we could still freely choose between the good options.
Okay, let me finish answering your question, okay? Okay, God created us with a free will. That's it. That's all you have to understand.
No, because God could have created us free will without giving us the ability to do bad things.
That's your choice.
No, what I'm saying is, hey, Sasha, can you choose to jump to the moon right now?
I can't jump to the moon.
But do you still have free
I can choose to be
will?
an astronaut. I can choose to go to the moon.
One second.
Yes.
Do you still have free will?
Of course.
So you're saying that you still have free will even though you can't jump to the moon. I don't see what the issue is with saying you still have free will even if you weren't able to choose to do bad things, right? Like it's just like simply, it wouldn't be like an available thing that we can do. And this isn't like a fringe theory or some philosophical ideal. It's simply true of your God. It's simply true of the people in heaven. All of these entities have free will, but they don't have the ability to do bad things. So God could have prevented the existence of all evil. God could have, made it so the Holocaust didn't occur. God could have made it so child rape doesn't happen.
Why do you think
hell's not relevant here?
You're saying that why didn't God create everyone to not be able to do evil? Why do you think there's hell? Because some people worship Satan. Some people genuinely want evil. How is that God's fault? God created you.
Because God gave them the ability to want evil.
God spent time on you and me and everyone in this life individually creating us because we have purpose in life. And some people choose, just like you, and say, God is not real. So do you
Okay,
believe
Sasha, I'm going to go ahead and try to demonstrate this to you once again. God gave us the ability to do evil things. God, simply speaking, could have not given us the ability to do evil things, right? But then your robotic NPC white belt Christian response would be, well, that's not free will. But that's absolutely not true. Because God doesn't have the ability. One second. I didn't say white. I said white belt. So you can have free will without the ability to do bad things. Do you reject or accept that?
Did I have a free will to do bad things?
No, you can have free will without being able to choose to do bad things. Do you accept or reject that?
Of course, I can do bad anytime right now.
That's not the question that I'm asking, Sasha. Please listen closely. Is free will compatible with not being able to do evil?
Hold on. Wait, can you repeat it? Because I'm not great at English, so I need to...
Is it possible for someone to have free will while not being able to choose to do bad things?
No, how... That doesn't...
Okay.
No.
So does God have free will, or can God choose to do bad things?
Of course God has free will.
So God can choose to do bad things, so he's not all good?
Of course he can. Of course.
Okay, so God's not all good.
Okay, it's not, okay, let me ask you something. If you go, right, and you laugh at someone, does that make you bad?
No, maybe. If I was laughing at them in like an evil way.
When a Christian person, right, or somebody that worships God, right, we go to church, we pray our prayers, we repent for stuff, right? That's how it works. But
yeah, I don't understand like what point of my argument you're rejecting here. Maybe I could run another one.
Because you're not even letting me speak.
Do you think that ethnic cleansing is always wrong?
Who?
Do you think that ethnic cleansing is always wrong?
I don't even know who that is. I'm here to defend God, my God, who created me, who created you. I'm here to defend.
Ethnic cleansing is not a person, it's a thing. It's particularly the genocide of a group of people because of their ethnicity. So do you think that is always wrong?
I support anybody and anything, but right now, what you're saying is God is not real, and I'm going to tell you that he is.
Okay, Sasha, I'm going to repeat my question now. Is ethnic cleansing always bad?
What's ethnic cleansing?
The eradication and unaliving of a group of people because of their ethnicity. Man, woman, and child.
That's not right. It shouldn't happen.
Okay, so you just called God evil because in 1 Samuel 15...
I didn't call God evil.
Sasha, in 1 Samuel 15:3, God commands the ethnic cleansing of the Amalekites. He commanded Saul to gather his men and ethnically cleanse the Amalekites in the sense of utterly destroying them and sparing them not, but unaliving man, woman, child, infant, suckling, ox, sheep, camel, and ass. Okay? So if you're going to say that ethnic cleansing is always... One second, Sasha. If you're going to say that ethnic cleansing is wrong in all scenarios and God commanded ethnic cleansing, well, then God commanded something that was evil. And if God commanded evil, then God is not all good. And if God is not all good, then God is not the Christian God, which would disprove the existence of the Christian God, given your responses to my questions.
Okay, do you know why he would do evil? You know what a punishment is?
Well, if it was a punishment, was it just or unjust?
Well, I'll read about that, but I'm telling you the good side of God because I would never say anything bad about God.
Is God evil at all?
No, God is not evil.
So then God can't command evil, but you just explicitly stated that he did command evil.
God can give punishments. Yes. Yes.
Wait, I'm so sorry, but you'd say that the punishments aren't evil because they were justified.
Okay, you're not understanding my point. God is not evil himself. He would never give evil for no reason.
Well, if you're just saying he does evil for a reason, then all things considered, it's not actually evil. So are you saying that like genocide isn't always wrong because when God commanded it, it wasn't wrong?
No, because I'm saying, of course it's wrong to kill someone just because your religion or your race or whatever.
Okay, so God did something wrong then, yeah. Because he told people to do that. 1 Samuel 15:3, man.
Do that for no reason. There was definitely reason.
Okay, well, if he had reason, then it wasn't wrong. Are you saying... Okay, let's look at this allegorically.
You believe in the devil?
So, no. When God commanded ethnic cleansing, should he or should he not have done that?
It depends for what reason.
Okay, hey, Sasha, how old are you?
15.
Oh my God, I need to start asking ages. I'm not gonna lie, you're all right in defending your faith for being 15, but you got to be at least 18 to be in TikTok Live. I really should have asked that first. Honestly, I'll give her props. She was 15. I mean, she wasn't doing good at all, but for being 15, like at least she could stick up for her faith in some sense. But oopsie daisies, I got to start asking ages again. What's up? How old are you?
I'm 16.
Okay, well, yeah. Guys, everyone in the guest request, make sure that you are at least 18 years of age, guys. Make sure that you're at least 18 years of age. We're going to move on to our next guest here, y'all. If you're enjoying the content, make sure to hit that follow button. And if you want to support me, my Venmo as well as my PayPal are in my bio. What's up? How old are you?
19.
Sweet, man. Do you think that the Christian God is real?
Yep.
Awesome. Could you give me an argument to demonstrate the existence of the Christian God?
Anything? Like, what are you talking about?
Prove to me that the Christian God exists, sir.
Documents, eyewitnesses of Jesus, resurrections.
Dude, okay, honestly, I'm not gonna lie. I want you to be honest, Thor. Are you just saying buzzwords, or are you actually familiar with the historicity of Jesus Christ?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, there's so many documents. And then Dead Sea Scrolls showing the...
Okay. So the Dead Sea Scrolls don't concern Jesus Christ and or his life or his resurrection. Those are going to be Old Testament manuscripts. So
yes,
I actually don't think that you're going to be familiar with these
They show
things.
the proof that the Bible is still accurate now. Like, if
I don't think they do.
They do.
How so?
Because the text is the same as the ones we have now.
Okay, yeah. So, the Torah was a big deal, and there was multiple people that wrote it down, and there was consistency. I don't think this proves it as being true. I just think this proves that there were a bunch of people a long time ago that followed the text.
Well, I'm just saying that if those aren't true, and the things we have now aren't true, the same.
Wait, do you think that the Old Testament is accurate?
Yes.
Okay, so, yeah, do you think that slavery has always been wrong?
Yes, slavery has always been wrong. But
so you don't think that the Old Testament is accurate?
The thing that you're going to bring up how there were slaves.
One second, Thor. So yeah, then you don't think that the Old Testament is accurate because Leviticus 25 verses 44 through 46, God explicitly tells Moses that chattel slavery in the sense of an Israelite individual owning a non-Israelite individual as human property for life was morally permissible to do. So it's either that you disagree with God or the Old Testament is not accurate.
The Old Testament from the New Testament, from Jesus dying and being resurrected, things have changed from the Old Testament. But God does say that in the Old Testament that slavery is bad, but it was the greater good. At that time, that was the way to pay off debt. You didn't give things back because you didn't have anything, so you worked as a slave behind this person in order to pay back your debt.
Okay, so that's just simply not true. I'll just go ahead and read off the text for you. So in Leviticus 25, 44 through 46, it says, "Your male and your female slaves are to come from the nations around you. From them you may buy slaves. You may also buy some of the temporary residents living amongst you and the members of their clan born in your country. And you may also bequeath your slaves to your children as inherited property, and they may be slaves for life." Right? But you must not rule over your fellow Israelites ruthlessly. So essentially what this is telling us is that God was completely chill with a form of chattel slavery in which was nationalistic, right? Where the Israelites couldn't own other Israelites as slaves, they could as servants, but the Israelites could own non-Israelites as human property for life. So it absolutely doesn't say it's bad. Nowhere in the text does it say it's bad. In fact, God says you may buy it, which would tell us that it's morally permissible. And then further yet, these were not indentured servants paying off debt.
Yes, but I don't the reason they had these slaves is because obviously war and such things, but also it was paying off debt.
Yeah, can you give me the scripture where it says that?
No, that's historical evidence. There's things
I don't think it is. Yeah, give me the historical evidence.
There are things that are in the Bible there's things that aren't in the Bible that we use through just evidence, historical evidence.
So I just want to clear this up. When God says that, chattel slavery is chill, do you agree or disagree with God?
Sorry, what'd you say? My mom came in my room.
When God says that chattel slavery is permissible, do you agree or disagree with him?
Like I said, God is good. He knows everything, all powerful. He knows.
Okay, great. Not the question I asked you. When God says chattel slavery is good,
when he says it is okay, he didn't say it was good. He said it was permissible. He said.
So we could. One second. Is God all good and perfect?
Yes, 100%.
Is God an all good and perfect moral lawgiver?
Yes.
Okay, does this mean that God's moral law is all good and perfect as well?
Yes.
So God's moral law specifically saying that it's permissible to own slaves as human property for life, that's all good and perfect?
See, but you're just
okay, so I'm so sorry. Which premise of the argument do you reject? Because you seem to reject the conclusion.
Okay, first of all, you can't talk about moral arguments because you aren't God. God has the perfect moral standard, and he claims what is morally right and correct.
Okay, that's sweet. You're still not answering my question. When God said that chattel slavery was morally permissible, do you agree or disagree with him?
Doug, that's not how you can't just say, do you agree or disagree?
If you're going to continue to be willfully, if you're going to be okay, God said that an Israelite could own a non-Israelite as human property for the entirety of their life, even so far as to say that if the slave master died, they could give them as property to give the slave as property to their children. And then in Exodus 21 verses 20 through 21, God said that the masters could beat their slaves as long as they recover in 3 days. I'm specifically asking you if you agree or disagree with God.
I agree with God in any aspect.
All right, so you think that chattel slavery of owning a human for the entirety of your life and beating them was permissible during that time?
See, during that time, whatever God says is what
Say it out loud.
You,
say that it was okay to own a human and beat them.
See,
say
this
that.
is all you do. You use the authority fallacy that you have this
chat. He's not saying it. Let's get some runners. Let's get some running emojis in the chat because he will not say it. Let's
Okay,
get
well,
some running
let me ask
emojis
you a
in the
question.
chat because no, I want you to say it. Say it out loud that you think owning humans and beating them is wrong.
This is exactly what you did with Brooks. You have your own one argument. You can't get off anything
you
else.
You are absolutely whining. You
That's
are
it.
absolutely whining. You are crying. You are seething. You are moaning. The tears are dripping down your cheeks and they are falling onto your lap and I'm fucking swimming in them. All right. Tell me that you think it was morally permissible to own humans as property for life. Let's go ahead and have you say it out loud, sir. Because guess what? I am live here today to make you uncomfortable because a belief in God requires these insane absurdities to also be held by you. I want you to tell me and the other 2.3 thousand people watching the live that you thought that slavery was good. And then we'll move on to a different argument. How about that?
All right. So, does saying I agree with whatever God does that,
No, that's not what I asked you to say.
What your point is, actually.
Tell us that you thought that it was good for an Israelite to own and beat non-Israelites as property for their life.
Yes, that's what God said, yes.
So that was good?
Okay, but you're saying good.
Do you think that ethnic cleansing is always wrong?
What does that mean?
Like the genocide of a group of people because of their ethnicity?
I don't know why you're bringing that up. I don't know.
You don't what the fuck? You don't know if that's wrong?
What are you about to say after this? Like, you're asking it.
Dude, I swear to God, listen, I don't know what it is about me and Christians, but I just make y'all just run, dodge, pivot, and fucking not answer my questions. Is ethnic cleansing always wrong?
Okay, yes, with what you're saying. Yeah.
Okay, so then God commanded something that was wrong, because in 1 Samuel 15:3, he tells Saul to gather his men and ethnically cleanse the Amalekites: man, woman, child, infant, suckling, ox, sheep, camel, and ass.
I'd have to read the whole thing.
So go ahead and do it. Go ahead and read out 1 Samuel 15:3 for us.
No, I'm talking about, there's more context to things than just one verse in one chapter.
So give us the context.
I just told you I'd have to read it. I haven't read it.
Okay, so I guess we'll just go ahead and move off of that argument. I guess you could contemplate if you think genocide and ethnic cleansing is wrong. Hey, here's my argument. Premise number 1, if the Christian God existed, evil would not exist. Premise number 2, evil exists. Conclusion, the Christian God does not exist. What premise of my argument do you reject?
The free will part. I mean, if we can't have full knowledge if evil is completely taken out of it. We can't have free will if evil is completely taken away. Because
can God do evil things?
He could. He chooses not to. He's perfect.
No, I actually just don't think he can choose at all, right? I'll go ahead and tell you why. Is God bound by logic in the sense that he can't choose to make contradictions true? Can God do anything logically contradictory?
Wait, what? Sorry, what does that mean? Can you elaborate on that?
Yeah, so if something is logically contradictory, it just means that it's impossible to occur. Like, for instance, a squared circle would be a logical contradiction because if it, you know what I mean? Same thing, we'd say if a square is 100% blue and 100% white at the same time, that's a contradiction. Someone existing and not existing simultaneously is a contradiction. God does not equal God, that's a contradiction. So can God make contradictions true?
I mean, I believe, honestly, if he wanted to, but the whole point of that is, we have a limited...
So I'm just asking you, just yes or no?
Yes, he made these things.
Okay, so yeah, if God can make contradictions true, then what's the fucking issue with saying that we could have free will without the ability to do evil? I understand like that seems like it's impossible, but who cares? Because God can make logical contradictions true. He's all powerful. He could dream it up and literally do fucking anything. So of course God could give us free will without giving us the ability to do evil things, because he could literally make a squared fucking circle.
Okay, I completely get what you're saying. But first, cussing kind of like, come on, man. There's no reason to cuss in it.
Cuss words are in my vocabulary. If they make you uncomfortable, feel free to leave. I will not hold that against you.
Yeah, I know.
Also
It makes you sound childish, but
I don't think it makes me sound childish in the slightest. But I understand why you'd say that, given your Christian worldview. Y'all condemn cussing, but I will continue to cuss.
Anyways, so infinity doesn't exist in our reality, correct?
Wait, that's not true.
That is true. It is.
How long has God existed?
Exactly. That's my point. So in our world, in our realm, infinity doesn't exist. True.
Okay,
right?
So you're actually not responding to my argument here in the slightest?
No, I'm trying to get to it. I have to talk
infinites
about
don't exist. Continue.
So, do you know the reason behind why infinity doesn't exist on our plane, like on Earth?
I think infinites could totally exist. I don't accept that.
Okay, well, the study behind it is that if infinity was a real thing, so say you had a hotel room with infinite amount of rooms, and you had an infinite amount of people. If you empty out all the rooms, that'd be infinity minus infinity, correct? So then it would be zero.
Well, no, there's actually different sizes of infinity, and infinity minus infinity would, it's not necessarily zero. But yes, I don't want to get into like the philosophical implications of infinites.
Yeah, I know. This is just part of my argument. I'm getting
like numbers are infinite. Like, what's the issue?
Exactly, but in our reality, there is no infinites because
that's not true.
That is.
I don't accept that.
True. It is 100% true.
No, I think that like a totally plausible theory of the existence of the universe is that the universe would be infinite in a sense, or like the universe has always existed. I don't think that there's like any like necessary implications in which would be false given this. And then like additionally here, right? You're a Christian. You think that God has always existed. In other words, you think that God is infinite in that sense. So
yes,
even you think that
let me finish my point.
Well, no, you can't just say.
When I interrupt
say that
you mute my mic, but when I'm talking, you just keep talking over me.
So you can't say that infinites don't exist, but then accept the existence of the Christian God.
No, you're not. You're not letting me finish. So on our Earth and our reality, infinites
what do you mean
don't
by that?
exist.
What do you mean by in our reality?
God is not bound by time, space, anything. God is not bound by these things. We are bound by time. We can't outrun.
You want to answer my question? I didn't ask you. Okay, I asked you what you meant in our reality.
Yeah, you just in our reality.
You're talking about like in space and time? Are you saying within space and time there are no infinites?
Yes, exactly.
Why can't time be infinite?
Because you have to listen to what I'm saying, man. Like, so with the infinity thing that I'm talking about, if you have infinite amount of people and infinite amount of rooms and you take them all out, then all the rooms are empty. But if you take half of the people out and subtract it from infinity, you're subtracting infinity, but there's still infinity amount of people in these rooms. You can't have an infinity because they're not divisible. You can't take them apart.
There's different sizes of infinities.
What does that mean? Infinity is.
You could study it. Like this is like mathematically accepted. Like I don't understand what you just make your argument. I'll follow you.
But okay, so all right, you'll follow me. Whatever. In our realm, in our reality, there is no infinites. In God, there is. Like God is infinite. God, there is no realm of time. Like I was saying, He's not bound by time. So He was there in the past, present, future. Like He's everywhere all at once.
Then can God respond to our prayers?
Yes.
Well, then what do you mean God's not bound by time if He responds to our prayers? That's necessarily some temporal concept. Because I'd say that God responded to my prayer yesterday. All right.
Yeah.
So when you say God's not bound by time and He's outside of it, this would mean that God's atemporal, which means He wouldn't be able to interact with temporality, right? However, by responding to prayers, He's necessarily temporal. Also, not to mention that you would say Jesus, given incarnation, was bound by time, right? Because He existed on earth inside of time.
Yes, Jesus was in a physical form.
Wait, so is Jesus God?
Yes, God humbled Himself. And
so God can be bound by time?
He can be, yes. God can be.
I thought you just said God wasn't bound by time.
He's not.
Okay, well then explain Jesus.
Jesus is the physical form of God.
I'm gonna show you the contradiction.
Limitation
Premise number 1, God's not bound by time. Premise number 2, Jesus is bound by time. Premise number 3, Jesus is God. Premise number 4, God is bound by time. Premise number 1 contradicts premise number 4.
No, God, Jesus, and the Holy Spirit are all one.
Most coherent Trinitarian.
Yeah, why don't you go ahead and explain to us how the Trinity works? I count 3 gods. I don't know about you.
No, I'm not getting into the Trinity right now.
Why not?
I want to talk about.
No, don't you have 3 gods, bro?
No, see, if I was able to just talk, like, look into these things before I talk about them, like, you're sitting here with verses, already having these topics on your mind, already knowing them. I'm just some dude who scrolled by and clicked on the live.
No worries, bro. Hey, someone in the comment section says something funny. Christians condemn cussing but not genocide. I fuck with you. In fact, comment that again and I'm gonna follow you back. Can you make an argument, man?
I was. Like, we were just talking, like, just now.
No, you said something about how God's not bound by time and humans are. How does this show that the Christian God exists?
No, that just had with what we were talking about earlier.
What did that necessarily have to do with? Go ahead, Ian.
Oh, wait. So, I guess I have like a question for you about God being outside of time. So do you think God knows all things?
Yeah.
Does God know what time it is?
Yeah.
Yeah? Wait, does God's knowledge ever change?
God is all powerful. He already knows everything.
Yeah, but does his knowledge ever change?
He already knows everything. So
yeah, but so his knowledge does not change. Is that correct?
God doesn't know what time it is.
Yeah, so it seems like God doesn't know what time it is. Yeah.
No, that's completely like wrong. Like, if things change, he still knows.
But the current time changes. So in order for God to know the current time, God's knowledge would necessarily change.
You know what time is, and you know when time changes. I don't.
Yeah, because like our knowledge of what time it is changes. Like our knowledge changes. If God's knowledge doesn't change, then he's fucked. Like he can't be omniscient.
Yeah, so like for instance, Breezy, I appreciate you for the galaxy. It's so good to see you, bro. Let's get a W, Breezy, in that chat. Win, Breezy. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I see you on Justin's live all the time. Love you, brother. So like, let's look at it this way. So you're saying that God's knowledge is unchanging, but like, the current time is a changing variable. Like for instance, current time equals noon. Current time equals 1 a.m. Current time equals 1 p.m. So in order for God to know the current time, this would necessarily be knowledge that would change, right? Because the current time is always changing. So this would just contradict the idea that God's knowledge is unchanging.
I don't think I understand that at all. Like, if he knows everything, I don't understand how time changing and somebody who's not bound by time, who's everywhere all at once, I don't understand how the time.
Oh my God, because the variable of the current time changes. It is different now as it was 1 second ago. So in order for God to know this variable, God's knowledge would change.
Yes, but
this is my first time ever. One second, this is my first time ever.
When the clock changes. Like,
yes, it is. Your knowledge of the current time changes.
Yes, but I don't think you understand what I mean by not.
Yes or no? Wait, yes or no?
Yes
or no? Your knowledge of the current time changes. Yes or no?
I don't understand. I guess, like, yeah, sure.
Okay,
like,
so does God's knowledge of the current time change? Yes or no?
He's not limited by time. I don't.
Does God's knowledge of the current time change? Yes or no?
No, God's.
How could your knowledge of the current time change, but God's knowledge of the current time not change?
Because he's not bound by time. I don't think you understand.
This just sounds like a contradiction.
Yeah, well, wait, so it sounds like there's like a proposition that we know, and it's true. Like right now it's 7:33, but God doesn't know. So it seems like God isn't omniscient.
No, he's everywhere all at once, and time isn't a limiter for him. He's in every time. Like, I don't understand why that's like, he's not immortal in the sense of a linear timescape. He's immortal as in he's everywhere all at once.
Wait, did God exist prior to creation?
He created creation. Like, he created.
Yeah, but did God exist alone prior to creation?
There was angels before Earth and stuff was created.
Has God ever existed alone?
Yeah, I'm sure. I don't know. I haven't
okay, so would you say that God is perfect?
Yeah, 100%.
Awesome. So when God existed alone and God was perfect, did he also exist in a perfect state of affairs?
What does that mean?
Like a state of affairs is just an evaluation of everything in which exists. And obviously, as the only thing in which did exist was God, he would have existed in a perfect state of affairs, as God is perfect.
Yeah.
Awesome. So is there anything better or like more desirable than perfection?
No, I guess not.
So if God existed in a perfect state of affairs when he was alone, this would mean that there's nothing better or more desirable than God existing alone. So God couldn't have had any reason or motivation to create, or else this would contradict his perfection.
Yeah, he didn't need people.
So would you say that God's creation was random? He just randomly decided to create us?
He just wanted to create us, yeah.
Wait, you said God wanted to create us, God desired to create us. However, as we just went over, there's nothing more desirable than a state of affairs in which God existed alone. So to say that God desired another state of affairs over a state of affairs in which he existed alone is just nonsense, gibberish. Breezy! Thank you for the 10 gifted subs! Let's go! Let's get a massive W Breezy in that chat. Thank you so much, Breezy. Massive
Breezy.
W Breezy in that chat.
Yo,
I
Breezy.
appreciate you so much for the love. Thank you for the
Breezy.
paper crane. You're awesome, Breezy. Everyone, please show some love to Breezy. I'm so grateful for you, man.
Yep.
Massive W Breezy. In
And
fact, I'm gonna play
Astronova. Just paper craned as well. All right. Anyways, I think we're kind of putting like a limiter on God's mind. Like, who are we to decide that that's not perfect? You know, like.
Wait, are you saying that we cannot logically comprehend any aspect of God?
Not any aspect. I mean, we can understand some things, but no, not a wide scheme of things.
Well, I mean, all that sounds like to me is that you're just rejecting the argument on the basis of you calling God irrational. Like, if we could, like, rationally comprehend these facets of God, such as the idea that he was perfect, he is perfect, and he existed alone, then we should also be able to comprehend that there wasn't a better or more desirable state of affairs than him existing alone.
He wanted to love these people.
Okay, so God desired something more than him existing alone, therefore God existing alone was not perfect due to the fact that there was something more desirable than it.
I don't think I understand this argument because.
Okay.
Like,
so is there anything more desirable than perfection?
No, I get that.
Is God plus creation more desirable than God existing alone?
Sorry, what did you say?
Is God plus creation more desirable than God existing alone?
I don't know. That's something.
You said God wanted to create, God desired to create, so it would be implied there that it is, right?
Yeah, he just wanted to create humans. I don't think
so. God wanted to create humans over not creating humans. So therefore, God plus creation is more desirable than God existing alone, right?
Still, now we know that God's the only imperfect thing.
Okay, so listen up, bro. You said does God desire to create humans more than he desires to not create humans?
Yeah, sure.
So God plus humans is better than God existing alone, correct?
That's what he wanted to do, so yeah, I guess so.
So premise number 1, nothing is more desirable than perfection. Premise number 2, something is more desirable than God existing alone. Conclusion, God existing alone is not perfection.
I don't think I agree with that at all.
So that is a logically valid argument. In order for you to reject the conclusion, you will have to reject a premise.
All right, well, say this. Say this right here.
No, you are not running. Tell me which premise you reject. Premise number 1 or premise number 2?
Sorry, repeat both premises again.
Premise number 1.
Yeah.
There is nothing more desirable than God existing alone. Premise, no. Premise number 1, there's nothing more desirable than perfection. Premise number 2, there's something more desirable than God existing alone. Premise number 3, if there's something more desirable than God existing alone, then God existing alone is imperfect. Conclusion, God existing alone is imperfect.
Okay, I think number 1 then.
So you say that there's something more desirable than perfection. All right, then the only issue with this is when we say perfection, we simply mean flawlessness, with a flaw being defined as an undesirable attribute. So in order to have perfection, you have to have no undesirable attributes. So in order for you to say something that there's something more desirable than the most desirable states of affairs is a logical contradiction.
Okay, great. So my problem with the first premise of that is God is perfect. He's not desiring perfection. He doesn't desire perfection. God is perfect. So
He's not desiring more.
So the first premise was that there's nothing more desirable than perfection, right?
Yes.
And I just simply demonstrated to you how that's not the case because perfection descriptively defines the most desirable state of affairs. So you're saying there's something more desirable than the most desirable state of affairs. Is there anything more than the most?
I guess not.
No, so there can't be anything more desirable than perfection. Therefore, you do not reject premise number one. So you must accept the conclusion that God existing alone is imperfect.
No.
Okay. So then which premise do you reject?
Let's say something real quick.
Which premise do you reject?
I already told you which one. So let me just...
No, but you just contradicted yourself because you just said there's nothing more desirable than perfection. So you don't reject premise number one.
Okay, can I say something real quick? I already said number one, and I think God is perfect.
Depends. Are you about to tell us what premise you reject?
I've said it about 16 times.
Well, but then you can't defend your rejection of that premise.
And then he contradicted himself.
No, what I'm saying
more than the most.
Say you have something perfect, right? Say you desire the perfect steak, right? You have the perfect steak.
You already said there's nothing more than the most.
And then why can't you add on to something?
Yeah, if we had a perfect pizza, would it make sense to say that there's any pizza out there that is better than that perfect pizza?
No, that's I'm saying you have the perfect pizza and then you want a side of, I don't know, French fries. You have the perfect, God is perfect. There is already perfection. And then there is more.
Okay. Well, yes, but we're particularly referring to the states of affairs. You said the state of affairs prior to creation were perfect, right? And this is simply inadequate, right? Because in order to add, because you'd be adding to the states of affairs, you'd be adding to the pizza in of itself, right? So would it make any sense to say that we have a perfect pizza, but we want to add a couple extra slices of pepperoni?
Yeah, sure, why not?
So no, that actually wouldn't make sense because then the pizza prior to adding the pepperoni would be imperfect as there's a more desirable pizza than it.
Man, I just you're okay. What I'm saying is God is perfect. God is
don't sidetrack. If we have a perfect pizza, don't sidetrack. If we have don't sidetrack. If we have a perfect pizza, would it make any sense to say that there's any pizza out there that is better?
See, me and you were talking about two different things right now.
Answer my question. We're talking about pizzas. If we have a perfect pizza, does it make sense to say that there is any pizza out there that is better?
We are talking about different things right now.
Thor, if you cannot conceptually engage with my hypotheticals in order to show you how there's nothing more desirable than a state of perfection regardless of the context, I'm going to unfortunately have to move on to the next guest because I'm led to believe that you're being intellectually dishonest. You cannot logically comprehend abstract objects and or hypotheticals, and you are just simply wasting my time. So I'm going to ask you to conceptually engage with my question in order for me to be able to better substantiate my argument against the existence of the Christian God. If we had a pizza that was perfect, would it make any sense to say that there could be a better pizza out there, or would that be pure gibberish? Thank you for that, a mustache.
Okay, you're right. So I'm saying right now, with what you were talking about, you were completely right.
Okay, so if we have a perfect state of affairs, would it make sense to say that there's any better states of affairs out there, or would that be pure gibberish?
That would be gibberish. But
okay, so when you said that the state of affairs of God plus creation is better than the state of affairs than God existing alone, but you say the state of affairs in which God existed alone is perfect, that was pure gibberish because you said there's something better than it.
Yes, but I think we're looking at this in a different way.
So you think the idea that God is perfect is pure gibberish? Concession.
Well, you stop talking over me for 1 second.
So I appreciate you for the 6-month sub.
You're saying there's one pizza and there can't be one more perfect than it, correct? Which is right.
That is what you just said. You can
Yes, which is right, correct. But what if you have the pizza that is perfect and then another pizza that is built different but is perfect as well?
Yeah, you could have two perfect pizzas. That's absolutely fine, but I'm asking you about the same pizza, right?
What I'm saying is, what if both of these things can live in harmony as perfect things?
Well, because we're evaluating one state of affairs, that being God existing alone and God plus creation, right? Then also, if you were to say that humanity is perfect, all things considered, you'd have to say that the Holocaust, all things considered, was perfect. Slavery, all things considered, is perfect. Child rape, all things considered, is perfect.
Yes, I'm saying God is always perfect. I'm not saying we as humans are perfect.
Wait, I'm so sorry. If I was a perfect painter, would I always paint perfect paintings?
If you were a perfect painter, yeah.
Okay, so if I'm a perfect creator, would I always create perfect creation?
I don't. Yeah, that's not even like completely. That's too completely. That's not relevant at all.
Bro, answer my
There's so many
question.
factors that come into these things.
Oh, well, then how the hell were you able to answer so easily about the perfect painter?
Okay, fine. Yes, free will is a perfect concept.
Okay, so if I'm a perfect creator, my creation would be perfect as well. So all things considered, humans are perfect?
No. How would you
Okay,
create?
so then you reject that a perfect creator, aka God, created perfect
No,
creation.
no. How would you create people if you were God?
Bro, dude, follow me here. You said if I was a perfect creator,
Can't
my
answer
creation would be perfect as well. So if God was a perfect creator, would his creation be perfect?
Not his. We have the painting doesn't have free will. The painting can't make a decision. So
Just answer my question. If God is a perfect creator, would his creation be perfect as well?
this is completely okay. I'll concede. You're right with this one. I don't.
Okay, so are humans all things considered perfect?
No.
Okay, so that's a contradiction. Good going.
Okay, so let me ask you this: if you were God, how would you create people?
Yeah, I would create humans to have free will without the ability to do bad things. I'd probably just send everyone straight to heaven.
So that's not free will.
Does God have free will?
Mm-hmm.
But yet God doesn't have the ability to do bad things, so it actually is free will.
He has the ability. He can do
And
it.
God, okay, I don't think so. So yeah, typically speaking, God cannot choose to do things that are logically contradictory, and in all good God, doing a bad thing is logically contradictory.
Yes, see, God can. He chooses not to. It's a choice. It's not.
So God can do things that are logically contradictory. Ian, what are the issues with that?
I'm saying God can do wrong things, but he chooses not to.
So can God or can God not do things that are logically contradictory?
No, you keep bringing up a point that I'm not talking about.
Thor, just answer my fucking question.
I chose
Can
this
God...
argument, and now you.
Thor, can God choose to do logical contradictions, or can't God choose to do logical contradictions?
It is considered a logical contradiction because of our limited mindset. So,
Ian, do you see how he's not answering my question?
Yeah. I think everyone sees how he's not answering your question. Quite frankly, like it's like a yes or no question.
No, there's always things that go into stuff.
It is a true dichotomy. Either God can make logical contradictions.
Yes, he
or
can.
God can't
He
make
can.
a logical He can?
Yes.
So what are the issues with that, Ian?
Yeah. So I don't know. It's just like, where do you want to start? Like, can God make a rock that's so heavy he can't lift it?
No, see, y'all don't understand what I'm trying to say. God made these limitations that our minds have that we can't understand things.
Maze, thank you for the $20 on Venmo. I appreciate you for the love. Let's get it some W Mazes in the chat. I also see that you attached a message there, Maze. I'll go ahead and whip up Venmo on my computer and look at it. But thank you so much for the love, Maze.
Yeah, wait, I'm sorry, Thor. What were you saying? So can he make the rock that's so heavy he can't lift it?
I don't understand these points. Like, what I'm saying is that he has put the limitations on our minds of not understanding these logical contradictions. Like, it's a contradiction because God made it that way. Like, he made things like with certainties. Like,
Oh, that's cool. That's cool. But again, it was just like a yes or no question, right? Like, can God make a rock that's so heavy he can't lift it?
Yes or no questions, then I ask y'all something and you don't answer.
No, we do.
Like,
we answer it very directly, and we answer it like, what's a question that we haven't answered?
See, when I was talking about the choice of free will, and then
so what was the question? What was the question you asked though? Because I think we've answered every question.
I said going down the thing when I said if you were God, how would you create people?
Oh yeah, I mean, I might make it such that like children are like anatomically incapable of being graped, so there was like no child grape. That would be pretty cool.
Okay, yeah.
But going back to my question, so can God make a rock that's so heavy he can't lift it?
This is what I mean. You're just going back to your question. Y'all still.
Well, yeah, because we answered your question, and now I want an answer to my question.
That wasn't the question. That's what I asked him earlier. I asked him if he was God, how would he create people? And then he said he'd create them without the ability to do evil. How is that free will if you cannot do evil?
Oh, so can God do evil?
He can do anything. He can do whatever.
So it's possible that God isn't all good.
No, he is all good. He chooses to be all good.
Okay, so if he's all good, then can he do evil?
yes, he can do evil.
So you think an all good being can do evil, that God can do something that you would consider evil, like God could go and like unalive like 30,000 people for no reason?
He could do these things. But he doesn't.
Yeah, I don't think he can. And like I tried to explain to you why. Because God is going to be bound by logic, right? So God is not illogical. And this is understood to be the case by literally all Christian theologians, scholars, academics in theology, etc., right? No one contests this. Only Christians who are white belts contest this, right? And it is a logical contradiction for an all-good God to do something evil. And because God cannot choose to do logical contradictions, God cannot choose to do evil.
No, I think it is, like you said, a contradiction for an all-good God to do something evil. But the choice of not doing something evil and having the option still makes him good.
In what sense does he have the option to do evil if it is a logical contradiction for him to do evil?
What? I just described how he could do evil.
In what sense does God have the ability to do evil if God doing evil is a logical contradiction? What do you mean when you say God has the ability to do evil?
So there's the possibility of there being a logical contradiction, like you said, of him doing evil. There's the possibility of him doing that, but he never has, and he is good. He will do good.
So there's a possibility of a contradiction being true?
He could do wrong if he wanted to, but he doesn't.
So you're saying it's possible for contradictions to be true?
Yes, but just because there's a possibility doesn't mean it's
Oh my
true.
God, you just said that it is possible for contradictions to be true. A contradiction would imply that it's impossible. This is literally, Christians, is this y'all best fucking debater up here?
No,
not at all. It's possible for
debater,
contradictions to be true.
I was just scrolling on my
It's possible
page.
for it's possible
Click
for
on here.
squared circles to exist. It's possible for God to not exist and exist at the same time simultaneously. It's possible that God's not God. Come on.
No. Dude, man.
Is it possible that God is it possible that God's not God? Because God being God, or more so, God not being God is a logical contradiction. And if it's possible that contradictions can be true, then it's possible that God isn't God.
Man, I guess I'm not understanding what you're saying right now. There's a lot of words.
Yeah, wait. So typically under logic, we would affirm statements like that are really basic, like A is A. A equals A. So, but if God is outside of logic, then we can't affirm A equals A. So there's no guarantee that God is God. It's very possible that God could not be God if God is not constrained by logic.
But God made these logics. Like he
Yes,
made
but that's irrelevant because he's not constrained by them. So you end up in like weird places. Like God could both exist and not exist. He could be God and not be God. Like you could ask questions about his properties that have answers that are like, or you can make statements about his properties and like these statements could have a truth value if neither true or false. Like nonsense follows when you reject logic as a grounding for God.
Yeah, that's a good argument. It's just so two things. One, man, I don't look into these things, like these type of things. So yes, y'all do have more knowledge on these things. I would, just off the top of my dome, I'm not doing too hot. I do need Brooks in here. He'd help me quite a bit. Is getting 1v2'd here, but
I don't know.
Mean,
I don't know how much Brooks would do.
I don't know if Brooks would help you, man.
Oh man, he'd be a slaughter fest right there, dude.
Brooks is a theologian, academic, like scholarly friend said that he lost the debate that he had with me.
Yeah, but if one of your friends said you lost the debate, you wouldn't think that.
None of my friends told me I lost the debate.
Oh yeah, they're also liars though.
Nah, you'd have to. The only way you think Brooks looks good in that debate is if you're a Christian, and then not even then. Like that's not even a guarantee.
Yeah, no, you have to meet a conjunct of being a Christian and having like a sub 95 IQ. Once you meet those two criteria, then you could think that Brooks looked good.
Oh yeah, I forgot personal insults were like really good in arguments.
No, that's not a personal insult, bro. Like I'm not even. You haven't said that Brooks looked good. I'm not applying that to you.
Looked good. No, okay, whatever. That's not. We don't even need to get on that. That debate's in the past. I do think y'all should do another one though at some point. There's
no shot Brooks is ever going to debate again. After that one, there's no shot.
No shot.
I think he would.
No, that was like such an embarrassing debate for him. He's literally never going to debate again.
Man,
There's like genuinely just no shot, and this is going to be proven true by the fact that he's not going to debate again.
Yeah. At the end, he even ran, dude. What I was seriously most astounded by was his friends telling me that I won on live publicly. That was the craziest shit.
I don't know his friends, so I can't really speak on it. I don't know any of it. But, I mean, I thought the debate was good. I thought it was good to hear either way. Whoever won. It's good to just listen into. But I just think...
Hey, man, you got anything else to add on here before we move on to our next guest?
Shoot, man. Jesus loves everybody, even if you don't think he's real. Good for y'all. Jesus.
Okay, he doesn't. It looks like we're kind of like climbing back up in viewers, so I'm down to like do this for a little bit longer. But if we remain stagnant, like below 2K, then I will probably restart on a different topic. And like
yeah. And if I'm like gutting your views, just let me know. Like you can always tell me if you think I'm like dragging it down. I'm like more than like I totally understand.
I will tell you, but I'm telling you that you're not doing that.
Okay.
We all love you here. What's up, Chuck? Do you think that the Christian God is real?
Yes, I do.
All right, why so? All right, I don't think Chuck's here. He probably just has bad Wi-Fi. So, chat, we're going to move on to our next guest here. Yo, guys, everyone watching the live, make sure that we're double tapping. Let's try to get up to 150,000 likes. Also, hit that follow button if you haven't already. If you want to support either myself or... Hello?
Hello.
Hey, what's up, man? Do you think that the Christian God is real?
Yes, I do.
Okay, why so?
So, I don't think like a life can be like made out of what?
Is this audio fucked?
Is Chuck still in here, or is that
I
just
think
glitching?
someone's here. Someone's talking.
Hey, Chuck, turn off your phone. Anyways, continue.
Yes, I don't think like life can be made as like from something that was like way. Is it me or Chuck is here?
Oh yeah. So this is like a pretty common glitch. So the audience can't hear Chuck at all, but like everybody who's actually on the panel can still hear Chuck.
Okay, so Chuck,
you gotta
turn off your
Chuck,
phone,
please.
man.
Respectfully.
Drop. Yo, Chuck, you gotta drop from the live. We can't hear you, or more so, the chat can't hear you. So I'm just gonna ask you to respectfully drop. But as far as you go, guest, continue making your argument why you believe that the Christian God exists. But I would just like to cut you off. If you're just trying to make an argument that life can't come from non-life, you're going to have a very hard time proving that. And then additionally, we could just posit like a deist God or some like supernatural force that isn't the Christian God to explain how life came about. So this will not get you any further to proving the existence of the Christian God.
But what do you think is not real though?
What are you asking?
Why do you think God is not real?
Because I see no reason to find that he is real.
Like, what was the point?
What?
Like, do you think Satan, like the devil, like is real, like Satan is real?
No.
So you don't think like about anything, like you think like Satan and God is not real?
Isn't that kind of obvious?
No, I know, like, but Satan, like, do you think he's not real, right?
Wait. So why would we believe in Satan if we don't believe in God?
I don't know. I was just asking.
No, we don't.
I don't know. But I think God is real, but
do you have like a real argument or?
Nope.
Okay. Yeah.
Moving on to our next guest here. Let's go and see what our next guest has to say, y'all. Let's go to get Mr. Lance up in here, chap. We're gonna give it about another like 10 minutes here before we hit a restart. If we don't start.
Dean,
okay.
How's it going, man?
It's doing all right, man. Do you think that the Christian God is real?
Yes, I do.
Why so?
Well, I'm going to say a passage. It'll be short. And I feel like we all can agree on this one.
What's the relevance? Is this going to, like, is the conclusion of this passage that God is real?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like the Bible, like a secret, like philosophy textbook with logically valid and sound arguments for the existence of the God.
Bro, Acts 1:15, and it's just like Coulomb's cosmological argument. That would be crazy.
Here we go.
Then they drop some ontological arguments.
Here we go, guys.
Now it's necessary. God is all
y'all are gonna
powerful and
agree.
all good.
y'all are gonna agree with this one.
This just isn't an argument. Like, this is super irrelevant. It's literally just preaching. This is like textbook preaching.
No, here we go. All right. Let's get our Bibles open. All right, here we go. Proverbs 5:19. You're gonna love this. You're gonna agree with it too. Let her be as the loving hind and pleasant roe. Let her breasts satisfy thee at all times, and be thou ravished in all ways of her love. I feel like we can all agree with that. Let her breasts, hold on, I didn't say that. God did. God did. Let her breasts satisfy thee at all times.
Do you feel weird? You should feel weird.
Come on, y'all. Come on.
I'm looking for our next guest as we speak.
Come on.
This is like a weird thing for you to do, by the way.
W guest. There we go, Matt. What's up?
Dude. I mean, interesting that I brought that up because that is like pretty uncomfortable scripture.
Yeah.
I don't even know how I feel about that. Yeah, we're gonna move on to our next guest. Let's get clips of Christ up here. Maybe they could defend their religion.
Thanks so much for the galaxy. I appreciate it.
Hey,
Thanks
what's
so
up,
much,
clips of
Maze.
Christ? Do you think that the Christian God is real? Okay, clips of Christ automatically drop. Moving on to our next guest here. Let's go to move on to Magic John. Everyone in here, just give us a minute to get our next guest up in here. I don't know what's going on with a live right now. You know, just give us some time here, guys. Give us some time. Cole, I appreciate you for the cap. All right, moving on here. Moving on. Joe Freed, I see you saying please in the chat, so we will go to move on to you next, guys. What's up, Joe? Hey, real quick, y'all. Let's see what the disposition of atheists and Christian is. I want to see a smiley face if you don't believe in God, a sad face if you do. What's up, Joe? How old are you?
I'm 18.
Yeah, I won't believe that for a second, Joe. You sounded really enthusiastic to get up here, but unfortunately, you are not 18 years of age. Yeah. We're going to go to move on to our next guest here at this point. What's up, JC? Do you think that the Christian God is real?
Yeah.
Awesome. Can you give us an argument to prove that he is?
Just by looking at the structure of our universe and how math works.
Yeah, so can you show us how the structure of our universe and mathematics philosophically proves the existence of the Christian God? We may need some more explanation here.
All right, yeah. Would you agree that math in principle doesn't change? Like 1 + 1 will always be 2?
No, well, it like big depends on the system you're in. So if you're talking like a modulus 2 system, then 1 + 1 is actually 0.
Is he about to run tag, dude? I feel like he's about to run tag.
I don't know. This is just my own
thinking. So I have a bachelor's of science in mathematics. Like none of our classes started off with like okay gang, like presuppose that God exists. Now let's do math.
All right, so if you have one apple and you add another apple, will it be 2 apples? That's all I'm asking.
Yeah. So I mean like what we're gonna be like representing there with language is unchanging. But go ahead.
All right. So the absolute value of every number, whether positive or negative, is always a positive number. And the absolute value will never be negative. So let's think about the number 1, right? And this isn't just...
well, it would have been negative, like the square root of negative, but then they just threw an I in there. Anyway, sorry, continue.
Well, that's just how like the absolute value is defined, right? Like the absolute value is just like taking the magnitude, and the magnitude is like an unsigned constant. So
yeah. So I mean,
that's how it's defined.
Let's see where it goes with this. I'm interested.
No, I'm sorry. Yeah.
No, I interrupted too. I want to see where it goes.
If God were to exist, right? He would kind of be our version of the number 1. And the reason why I say that is because every number is either a derivative of 1 or a factor of 1. Can we agree on that? I don't have a bachelor's of science in math, but can we agree?
I'll just basically accept it.
Sure.
Okay. Yeah. All right. Yeah. And all right. Let me see, because I've been writing this down. The number 1, it can only be 1, and every other number that is not 1 is either a multiple or a factor of 1. So mathematically speaking, if we were to consider things that exist as values on a theoretical number line, right? And we do use math to describe and quantify what we do see. That's the whole reason why we have math. So mathematically speaking, because things that exist, they would have to come from or be multiples of one absolute value that would be one itself. So
it's like a cute version of the contingency argument.
I'm not an apologist, dude. So
Kaylee, I appreciate you for the $10 on Venmo. I appreciate you so much for the love. W Kaylee in that chat. Well, you actually just gave like a contingency argument.
All right,
I'll give you credit for just conceiving of that.
I mean, if you give me like 2 minutes, I'll try to get through this quick, and then you can respond, cook, whatever you want. Yeah. So everything that exists would have to be multiples of one absolute value that would be one. If we were to consider if a God were to exist, he would have to be that one. He would have to be the absolute value of everything that exists. So mathematically speaking, if something exists, it would have to be derived from that absolute value. This also means that mathematically speaking, because one exists, hold on, it drops.
No. Dean is just off the app, but no. Keep on going.
Okay. All right. Yeah. So, if God were to exist, he would have to be that one. And if something exists, it would have to be derived from this theoretical one, which would be God, because all numbers derive and originate from one. And we use numbers and math to describe the universe.
Yeah, I hear you, man. You're basically just saying that there's a...
Give me one more minute.
I could just sum up your argument for you.
All right, try.
Yeah, so you're saying that there's a first cause for everything else that exists, and everything that else that exists only exists because of that first cause.
All right, yeah, no, that's not what I'm saying. All right, so
oh dear God.
Well, it just sounds like this entire argument is like one big metaphor. It's like, well, it's as if like everything came from God because God was like the unit, and everything just like originates from the unit. But this just like presupposes that God exists. Like you haven't actually argued for his existence.
We use math and we use numbers as constants to describe our universe, to describe our physical experience. Is that correct?
In some regards, yes. Like I wouldn't apply like a number. If I said like I'm feeling happy, I wouldn't apply like a number to that.
Yeah. So the number one, mathematically speaking, one is kind of like the God. Everything comes from or derives from the number one. If we translate that and we're using math,
this number one doesn't need to have consciousness. This number one doesn't need to have intent. This number, you've been yapping. I'm going to speak now. This number one doesn't need to be all good. This number one can be naturalistic. Like none of this proves the God.
But we are conscious beings. So the fact that we as conscious beings exist, if everything derives from one point, which is kind of what the Big Bang Theory points to, because everything derived from one point, right? If we as conscious beings exist, we can't come from something outside of the absolute value of one. So we exist as conscious beings, so whatever would have started would have also been a conscious being.
Can you give an argument for that?
This is like Pythagorean level like numerology fucking nonsense.
But how? Where is the logical fallacy in that? Because we use the number one.
One second.
Every value mathematically derives from.
GAC, I'm going to talk now.
Yeah. Even decimals. Even decimals.
So GAC, you made a claim that consciousness can only come from consciousness. Consciousness cannot come from non-consciousness, right? That was your claim.
Yeah.
Okay. Can you give an argument to support your claim?
Well, life.
John, I appreciate you for the $2.
Life only ever comes from life. There's no point.
No. Actually, like theories such as like abiogenesis would offer some explanatory power given a naturalistic world to account for life coming from non-life.
Can you give that? Can you give the explanation? Can you give me an example of something that is alive that did not come from something else that was alive?
So, like, the only example would be the first forms of life on Earth.
All right, but give me evidence for that. That's a theory.
Give you evidence for the theory of abiogenesis, you'd have to ask a biology major. I'm a philosophy major.
All right,
even if I were to, I'm not done talking. I
got you. All right, my fault, bro. Go.
So, here's the thing. We have no sufficient explanation for how life came from non-life. I think there is some reason, such as like abiogenesis, to believe that it's possible. I don't think that that theory is sufficient in explaining it, right? But my point here is, just because we don't have a sufficient explanation to, explain how it occurred, this doesn't automatically mean that a god caused it to occur. And this is so commonly used as an argument. It is labeled as a logical fallacy. It's called the God of the Gaps. So like 1,000 years ago, we had no naturalistic explanation for how weather occurs, how clouds form, and thunder rains down on Earth. We didn't know how those things happened. Thank you for the confetti. So what the Greeks did is they just simply filled those in with gods, the same way you'd be filling in life coming from non-life with gods. They said that the reason thunder occurred is because of Zeus. And we also had no explanation for how like the waves in the sea would form, so they just conceived of a god named Poseidon. And same thing with the Aztec and the Mayans. They created deities to explain why some years they didn't have as big of a crop yield as other years. But the thing here is every time a group of people or sect of individuals have had no explanation for something naturalistically occurring, so they, filled it in with a god, they've always been wrong. Like literally every single time. Like not only now do we know how
this isn't even my argument, but keep going.
One second. Not only now do we like know how weather patterns like form and occur, but we could actually like duplicate them in isolation. So just because we don't have any like explanation for how life came from non-life now, or at least a sufficient one, this doesn't necessitate a god for the same reasons as the observations of the Greeks or the Mayans or the Aztecs didn't necessitate a god.
All right, thank you, but that's not my argument.
So this you specifically asked me to explain to you how life can come from non-life, and then I responded, I don't have a sufficient explanation, and how you were just jumping to therefore God, and then I explained to you exactly how that's not the case, and in fact, that's a logical fallacy.
That's not my argument. Isn't just because there has been no evidence of the disproving of life coming from non-life. It's the fact that
you don't have a sufficient explanation for that occurring from a god. I just want to point that out.
So if we are using math to describe our universe, which is the constant and the language,
we've already went over this. So you're just saying that there has to be a necessary first cause to explain all contingent things.
No, not a necessary.
The issue with you describing a necessary first cause to explain all contingent things is that it's not like necessarily a god. There could be like some naturalistic first cause, like a fundamental set of particles, right? To be this metaphorical number one. So what's your other argument?
No, but where is the logical fallacy in seeing the fact that everything in math derives from one, and then not thinking that that one would also manifest physically, just like how all these other mathematical principles.
Yeah, you're just saying everything that exists is derivative of one thing. That's fine, but that thing in which everything that exists is derivative of isn't necessarily a god.
Right. So
the one thing that everything else is derivative of could be something naturalistic, like a fundamental set of particles. So, like once again, you would just be jumping from there existing a first cause to this first cause being something supernatural. Right, but then also here we could say that a supernatural explanation of what this first cause is less probable than a naturalistic explanation due to the fact that it is way less simple, right? Much more complex, and you have to assume many more things in order for it to be true. So out of virtue of the acceptance of Occam's razor, we could actually reject the theistic explanation as the naturalistic explanation is just simply more probable. So like, all things considered, the argument that you gave to support the existence of the Christian God actually supports naturalism over theism.
Yeah, all right, that's still not my argument though. Like, bro.
So what is your argument?
Yeah. All right, so the number 5, right? 5 is 5 because of 1.
Bro, I literally.
Let me speak now. Let me speak.
You are yapping. Quit yapping. Quit yapping. You are absolutely yapping.
My brother, this is what
can you go premise by premise? Like I'm.
All right. Yeah. All right. So the basis of my premise, right? We use math to describe our physical universe. 5, sure, is 5. However, 5 is only 5 because it comes from 1. 5 is made up of 1. 5 would not be 5 without 1.
Correct me if I'm wrong. All you're saying here is that everything that exists only exists because of one thing.
Yeah, yeah. And that one thing could be anything, right? It could be anything. And low key, according to math, the one thing would be everything that exists, or at least, at the very least, the absolute value or the source of everything that exists, just like how every number comes from the source of one, including,
so I was right.
Including consciousness.
I'm muting you, and I'm now saying to everyone watching, I was right. He said that I misunderstood his argument. I did not misunderstand his argument. He is simply giving a contingency argument. A contingency argument is basically the assumption that every action has a reaction, and it all goes back to the first action, right? You know, everything that exists has an explanation as to why it exists, because of something else's existence, right? Or every chain of motion has, you know, the first cause that started that change of motion. So, in other words, all he is saying here is for the universe to exist, and for Earth to exist, and for humans to exist, and for everyone to fucking exist, there has to be one first cause, okay? And I have already given my rebuttals to the first cause argument. I've explained how it can be a naturalistic first cause, so it's not necessarily a god. I also explained how a naturalistic first cause is more probable than a theistic first cause, as it's more philosophically simple. And if you have two ways to explain a data set, and one of the methods is more philosophically simple, aka you have to assume less for it to be true, it is therefore more probable. So even if we accept this first cause argument, it literally just shows that naturalism is more probable than theism. And Jason, thank you for the $20 on Venmo. I appreciate you for the love. W Jason in the chat, guys.
Even if it is naturalism, right? Which I understand why you would say that. It could be a naturalistic explanation for how everything came to be, right?
Yes.
However, the fact that consciousness exists, right? Even not just in beings, there's also on the subatomic level, when particles are observed, they go from, it's either what I mean, you would probably know this better than me, and you know what I'm about to talk about, right? When you observe a light wave, it goes.
Oh, please don't.
Particle. If you don't,
God,
it goes back into a wave. You get what I'm saying?
Are you ready to listen?
Even on the subatomic level,
you're gonna make Dr. Blitz cry. Don't say these things.
I don't know who that is.
So you're basically saying when wave functions are observed, they collapse, right? However, this is just a misunderstanding of the double slit experiment. So when we're talking about the observation of the collapse of these wave functions, well, this observation would necessarily include like these subatomic particles being emitted from the observer that interact with the wave function, causing it to collapse. So they're not collapsing out of the mere simple fact that they're observed by something outside of the system, but the system of the wave functions is literally interacted with things such as protons that cause the collapse. So no, there is not consciousness on the subatomic level. You just simply misunderstood the double slit experiment. You misunderstand quantum physics, and you are in absolutely no place to be having legitimate discourse on the topic.
Can you attack the actual premise of the argument, though?
You're the one that brought this up, and I attacked it. What else more do you want me to do?
No, I mean, but
I disproved some silly shit that you said.
The subatomic particles thing, which
I already disproved the main premise of the argument. The first cause is more likely to be naturalistic than theistic.
One thing that points to life coming from non-life.
Wait, I can do this argument pretty easily, actually. Do you think God is alive?
Yes.
So could God die?
No.
In what sense is God alive? Like, what's the definition of life?
Conscious, free thinking.
So plants aren't alive?
Plants are alive.
Okay, so then it's not consciousness or free thinking. So that's like the first field definition. What's your? Let's try a definition number 2.
It's not just. I mean,
do you want to try again?
There's more than just two. There's more than just two.
Yeah. So what makes something alive?
The ability to it grows and multiplies.
Does God grow and multiply?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, he is. I mean,
you think God? Wait,
infinite.
Does God the Father grow and multiply?
I mean, yeah, he's infinite.
Is God popping out new gods? And also, like, are infertile people not alive?
No, but they move, so they're still alive.
Oh, okay. Well, like a wheel, like a car moves, but a car isn't alive.
Does God move?
Yeah, but it doesn't. A car doesn't move on its own.
Yeah, wait. That's a good question. Does God move?
Yes.
Okay, so would you say that God changes his location?
He can manifest himself wherever, however he would want.
Okay, so did God create time?
Yeah.
Can change only exist inside of time?
No.
So change can exist outside of time. So in order for change to occur, you'd be going from state 1 to state 2. In order to go from one state to another state, some temporal, some concept of temporality would be necessary, because all time describes. Wait 1 second. All time describes is change from one state to another state. If you do not have change from one state to another state, you do not have time. And if God exists outside of time, this means that God does not have change. So when you say that God can change, but yet God's outside of time, so he doesn't change, you have a contradiction.
I say God can manifest himself however he wants to.
So can or can't God change?
I mean, he can be whatever. He is everything, right?
So can or can't God change?
It's like saying can one not be one?
Can God change?
Well, yeah. So the answer to your question is like super easy. No, one cannot be one. So what's the answer to our question? Can God change?
In that sense, then no, God would not change because he would.
Okay, so when you said that God could move or grow, you were just saying pure gibberish, because movement or growth would require change.
Well, that's choice. When you say change,
can God make choices
about who he is, what he is? Can
God make choices?
Absolutely.
Okay, so God would be changing from a state prior to the choice to after the choice, correct?
Yeah, but he wouldn't be changing.
So God does change.
He wouldn't be changing what he is. You can make decisions.
No. Choices can only exist inside of a concept of temporality, because you'd be moving from one state to.
That's not true, my brother. That's just not true.
Okay, was there time before God made a choice?
God exists outside of time.
Yeah, so God can't make choices.
Yes, he can.
Okay, so did there exist a state of God before and after he made a choice?
Yes, but that doesn't mean...
Okay, so you just used temporal concepts. So you just said that there existed states of God before and after he made a choice. But in order for it to be the case that God can have different states prior and after a choice would necessarily be inside of some temporal state. Because in order for this change of the state of God prior to and after a choice, this would be necessarily predicated on some temporal concept of time. Because keep in mind, a temporal concept merely describes change of states. So in order for a change of a state of God before and after a choice to be true,
time would be a byproduct
necessarily
of God as well.
would exist inside of temporality.
Like time is a part of God also.
Is God all good?
Yeah.
Okay.
The same way that circle is all good.
Can God do bad things?
Yeah. Right here.
Can God make logical contradictions true?
Hold on, give me 1 second, because I know exactly what you're gonna say. Isaiah 45:7. This is God speaking. I form the light and create darkness. I make peace and create evil. I, the Lord, do all these things.
Hey, can God make logical contradictions true?
He can't make logical contradictions true. No, whatever exists.
So is an all good God doing something evil a logical contradiction?
In the same way, a yin and yang is always good. When you have
is the answer yes or no?
I mean, no, he will not do evil, but he can use negative.
I'm asking you, is an all good God doing evil a logical contradiction?
No.
So
I mean, what you would consider as evil, but that is
oh my God! Yes, an all good God doing something evil is a logical contradiction in the sense if they did evil, they wouldn't be all good. So it is a logical contradiction. I'll just ask you this question: if it's square, no, JC, I'm following this up with a dialogue tree. Hey, JC, I'm following this up with a dialogue tree. You are so fucking dumb. Okay. So I need you to be able to follow
Only one of us is getting emotional here, calling people out of
If
their
a
name.
square is 100% blue, would it be a logical contradiction to say that it's also 1% red?
Can I answer?
Yes.
It would be a contradiction. However, that is not the God that is described.
Okay, so if a God is 100% good, would it be a logical contradiction to say that they are 1% evil?
I think maybe our problem here is that we're going off of different. What is your definition of good?
Goodness and evil, as I'm asking you in this question, would merely be however you define goodness and evil, as it is an internal contradiction. So if a God is 100% good, it would be a logical contradiction to say that they are 1% evil. In the same way, if a square is 100% white, it would be a logical contradiction to say that it is 1% black. And the point of me bringing these points up is to demonstrate to you how it is a logical contradiction for an all-good God to do something evil, because it's necessarily implied by their nature of being all good that they are not evil at all.
And this is why I'm saying it's a difference of definition, because to me,
it's your definition, my dude. It's an internal critique. It's your definition. There's not a difference in definitions. It's your definition.
Like, you study philosophy. You've studied Buddhism, right? You've studied the Tao Te Ching.
Right. I have studied those things. I have no fucking idea what that has to do.
Okay, yeah. So for example, right, the Taoist principle of yin and yang.
We're talking about your worldview. We're not talking about Taoism or Buddhism.
All right. Well, yeah, my world.
So, JC, I'm going to make this clear. You will now respond to the question without bringing up irrelevant points about Buddhism, right? So, in accordance with whatever you think good and bad is it logically contradictory for an all-good God to do something bad? Keep in mind, we are using your definitions of goodness and badness.
Okay, so do you want to know my definitions?
We don't need to.
Only reason
we already do.
Yeah, so JC, we do not want to know your definitions of good and bad. We want to know your answer to my question. In the same way, a square cannot be 100% white and 1% black, because that would be contradictory. Can God be 100% good and 1% evil?
He cannot be 100% good and 100% evil.
So it is a logical contradiction. So it is a logical contradiction for an all-good God to do something evil, yes or no?
Can you let me give a full answer before?
You could follow up your answer with an explanation. I fail to see how it's necessary, and it seems like Ian agrees. So now that you said it is the case that an all-good God cannot be 1% evil, would you agree with me when I say an all-good God doing something evil is logically contradictory?
Are you going to let me complete a full sentence before cutting me off?
I'm asking you if you agree with me when I say that an all-good God... You listen to the first half of my
sentence, then cut me off.
JC, don't whine and answer the question now. Go ahead and answer the question.
No, because if God is the absolute value, he will be the amalgamation of both positive and negative energy. If someone who is the amalgamation of everything uses a part of himself.
Okay, so God's all good and not all good at the same time.
It won't be evil. No, we just read here, Isaiah 45:7. He creates goodness and he creates evil. Everything comes from him. But
so what do you mean when you say that?
When you are the yin and yang,
so what do you mean when you say that God's all good and he's evil? That's just gibberish.
this isn't even a conversation, bro. Like, you have to at least let me do like talk for more than 30 seconds.
Like just don't yap. Like,
yeah,
Dean,
I'm gonna go use the restroom.
Bro, this is a debate. It's yapping. That's what this is.
No,
like,
no, don't say that. Debating is not yapping.
That is what it is.
Wait, like the person who wins the debate isn't like the better yapper. It's like the person who follows like a logical train of thought to like logical conclusions that are relevant and important to the topic,
it's
right?
Dog, bro. But all three of us are up here yapping, whether you like it or not. All right.
No, I think we're like, because we're asking you questions and then your answers are like kind of irrelevant. But
all right, so tell me how it's irrelevant that a person or a being who is the amalgamation of everything that exists, including time, including morality, including both positive and negative energy, which isn't even a Christian take. Even the only reason I bring up other worldviews is because other people have found this out who are smarter than all three of us combined, have found all of this out on their own. That
I believe in none of them. Wait, so which of these other beliefs do I believe in?
Do you believe in morality? But that's besides
I believe in morality. I don't believe in Buddhism.
So
I don't believe in like whatever other religion.
Good and evil. If you take just good by itself, it is no longer good. In order for good to be good, there has to be evil to contrast it.
Oh, so wait. Was there a time when God existed alone? Was there a time when God ever existed by himself?
Yes, but God.
Yeah. So when God existed by himself, was there good and evil, or was there just good?
Absolutely, it was positive and negative energy. But
so wait. So when God exists, so God has evil inside of him.
Let me finish, dog.
Hey, JC, no. So here's what we're gonna do. You are talking so much. GAC, you are talking so much.
I'm answering your questions.
I went to go pee. I come back and you were still yapping. In order for us to have a productive dialogue, you have to talk less, be able to offer more concise answers to his questions, and feel free to even ask us questions as long as they're concise. But you were talking the whole time and you're saying the same thing over and over and over and over. Okay? But I'm going to go ahead and expand on Ian's point. You said that evil existed when God existed alone, but God is also all good. So I'm going to show you the issues with that. Premise number 1, God is all good. Okay? What does this imply? Premise number 2, God is not evil at all. Okay? Because in order for God to be all good, evil cannot exist. Premise number 3, if God were to, fuck the formal argument. How do you not get this? This is so fucking simple.
Because you keep on saying evil.
I don't even, like, what am I doing? I can't actually believe that I'm sitting here trying to formalize the most simple fucking understanding of the world. Like, what?
Bro, look at your chat. They are seeing how you're just cutting me off, bro, and you're not listening to me. I said positive and negative energy, not evil. Not evil. Thank you.
Wait. So let's say we have the circle. The circle is all that exists.
The circle is all that exists.
The circle is like every single part of the circle is good. It's all good. If the circle is all good, can it be evil?
It's positive and negative energy. Notice.
Yeah. But I'm asking you if it's 100% good. If it's 100% good, can it be evil?
No, but evil is not equated with negative energy.
I have no fucking idea what you mean by negative energy.
Dog, don't you study philosophy?
Yeah. Wait, do you think they talk about energy?
Yeah, that's why he has no
positivity, negativity, energy. Whatever.
Bro, this is like woo woo nonsense.
The concept,
this doesn't appear in like any. What field of philosophy do you think this appears in?
Positive. And
TR, thank you for the 5 gifted subs. I appreciate you for the love.
Positive and negative, right? Those are two things where if you have just positive by itself, it is unbalanced. If you have just negative by itself, it is
Michael, thank you for the $25 on PayPal. Shut up, buddy. Michael, thank you so much for the $25 on PayPal. I really appreciate you for the love, bro. Let's get some W, Michael. Shut up, buddy. Let's get some W Michaels going in on that chat. Michael, I'm reading off a dono. Stop talking. Michael, thank you so much for the $25 on PayPal.
Yeah, he's mad.
Massive. I'm literally reading off dono. Stop talking. Let's get some W Mics in the chat. I really appreciate you for the love. All right, go ahead, y'all.
W Mike. We love Mike. Thank you for supporting my brother's stream right here.
Kaylee, thank you for the 1 second. Kaylee, thank you for the resubscription. Continue.
And Kaylee, thank you, Kaylee, for supporting my brother's stream. Y'all follow him. I appreciate him having this discussion, being able to talk with people who he disagrees with. Don't like y'all are saying he's annoying.
Oscar, 1 second. Sorry, I'm sorry, JC. Oscar, thank you for the $11.11 on Venmo. I really appreciate you for the love, Oscar. Let's get a W Oscar in the chat. Yeah, thank you so much. Shut up. 1 second. Oscar, thank you so much for the love. W Oscars in the chat all day, every day, baby. Thank you so much. Continue.
Yeah, and chat, I'm glad that y'all have the maturity to realize the meanings behind showing emotions like this. However, don't put it on him.
JC, I'm literally like reading off my donos, man. So the thing is, when like one of my supporters supports me on like Venmo or PayPal, which all these things happen to be in the bio, by the way, like I of course will automatically interject myself and read off a donation because it's something that I care about. I want to make sure those that
Yo, Michael, thanks for the $25. Oh God, thank you so much, Michael.
Yeah, right. Exactly. So like Ian actually even just like interrupted me, right? Because we always have to interrupt the other people that are talking. If someone is talking, you seem to like to talk a lot. If we are supported over things such as Venmo or PayPal, which just so happen to be both me and Ian's bio. So anyways, just go ahead and continue, JC. But JC, I would like to see you engage with like Ian's like very like difficult, complex, intricate like thought experiment about like a circle being all good and not being evil. But you know, maybe like Ian can like readdress that issue to you.
Yeah, I don't even know because this is just like so intuitive to me. So how do I break this down? Okay. So does it make sense to say that a circle is all like God is all good and also
I'm so sorry, Ian. Hey, Jake, thank you for the $6.66 on Venmo. I appreciate you for the love. Chat, make sure to show some love to Jake, W Jake, and W666 all day, every day.
Jake.
Go, shut up. Oh, wait. Monette, thank you for the $10 on Venmo. Monet, thank you so much for the $10 on Venmo. Massive W, Monet. I appreciate you so much for the love. Thank you so much, Monet. And Cole, thank you so much for the subscription as well. Thank you so much, Monet. Thank you, Jake, W Monet, W666. I'm so sorry. Shut up, JC. Go ahead, Ian.
Yeah. So, okay, I shaded it badly, but just like imagine that this entire circle is shaded. If this entire circle is shaded, is there any part of the circle that isn't shaded?
No, but I'm having
JC, hey, just answer very simplistically. Answer very simplistically.
Yeah. So no, there isn't. So let's replace the shading with like, so instead of being like all shaded, you can make me unbig now if you want, but instead of being like all shaded, we can say that like, is God all good when he existed alone?
All of good is God. All of everything is
but
God.
Is God all good? Is the
Michael,
question.
Thank you for the resubscription. I appreciate shut up, JC. Okay. Michael, thank you for the resubscription. Go ahead and continue.
Yeah, so is the circle like was God all good when he existed alone?
You're failing to understand that good is only good because evil exists. Evil is only evil because
so before
I can't do it. I'm gonna lose my mind, Ian. I'm like, okay,
so
JC, I'm gonna try to explain this to you very simplistically. And chat, I'm gonna actually explain this to you guys.
Positive and negative.
Hey, JC, stop talking. Okay, this is my turn to speak. It is actually your time to listen.
It's always been your turn.
So here we go. So I'm gonna explain this to you, JC, and I'm also gonna explain this to everyone in chat. And as soon as I'm done explaining it, I want you to type a 1 in chat if it makes sense. And I want you to type a 2 in chat if it doesn't make sense. So here we go. God is all good. So JC, what did I say?
I'm sorry, I had to, bro. All right, I'm sorry.
Leslie, I appreciate you for the $5 on Venmo. Thank you so much for the love. W Leslie, I appreciate you so much for the love. Leslie, thank you for the $5. So people are already spamming twos.
Yeah, bro, most intellectually honest Christians. Like
I haven't even explained anything yet.
Bro, wait, like to be clear, if this doesn't make sense to you, you're like profoundly stupid. This is like the easiest concept in the world.
I mean, that's an appeal.
Yeah, so all right, here we go. JC, I'm gonna have to control your mic if you can't shut up. Do I have to really sit here and do this, JC?
You wouldn't have to if you wanted to have a conversation, but
okay, so I guess I have to. So I guess we'll just go in and do it this way. So God is all good. Let's think about this in the concept of a circle that is 100% shaded. Okay, and at a time, God was the only thing that existed. Let's think about this like a shaded circle existing alone. Would it make sense for us to say that any evil existed when this all good God existed alone? Would it make sense to say that non-shaded circle existed when this 100% shaded circle existed alone? The answer is no. Let's get the yes or the no's in chat. Would it make any sense to say that evil existed when the only thing that existed was a 100% good God?
Yeah, like all these people are spamming too, as if this doesn't make them like just incapable of tracking basic logic. Like this is like elementary. I could explain this concept like a toddler.
Yeah, but you're misrepresenting.
I honestly want to invite all of them up.
Yeah, literally.
Like that'd be pure entertainment. Okay, so the overwhelming consensus is that doesn't make sense. Okay, so JC, now we'll ask you the same question. Does it make any sense to say that evil existed when a 100% good God existed alone? Yes or no?
No. Now can I talk?
Awesome.
Thank fucking Christ. Thank you so much. Yeah. Oh, God, war is over. So it seems like good can exist. It seems like good can exist without evil. I'm glad we arrived at that conclusion.
It's a false equivalency, bro. Like,
it's not even an equivalency. It's not even an equivalency. We equated an all good God to an all good God. It wasn't even a fucking equivalency. We were literally talking about what you believe in. A false equivalency is comparing two different things that are not comparable in the relevant sense, but we literally were not comparing two different things. We were talking about the same thing, that thing being an all good God. You are horrendously behind me and Ian and everyone watching this live.
All right. You never got to hear what I believe, though.
Let's go ahead and do a quiz. Premise number 1, all men are mortal. Premise number 2, Socrates is a man. What does this tell us about Socrates?
Again, this is not who God is. Like, you're assuming that God is...
Okay. Oh, no. We're going to do a logical puzzle. So, all men are mortal, and Socrates is a man. What do we know about Socrates?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, chat. I wish you wouldn't mute me so that we could actually have...
Wait, but what do we... All we want to know... So the question, again, was just like, what do we know about Socrates from these two premises?
Okay, yeah. Socrates would be immortal.
Immortal?
He would be mortal.
Oh, yes. That's exactly right. Yeah, he'd be mortal. Yeah.
Correct.
Okay.
He'd be immortal.
Wait.
Awesome. Yeah. So you seem to have like the logical comprehension of a third grader. How can you not understand that an all good God could exist without any evil, therefore implying that good could exist without evil?
It's the same reason you can say that the absolute value of all numbers, both positive and negative, is a positive number.
What the fuck?
It's just gibberish.
Yeah, bro.
What the fuck?
It's not gibberish.
I can't hurt myself anymore, Ian.
Bro, I get it. I totally understand. That was... that sure was something. I don't know.
Like, Ian, listen, I'll do a lot for entertainment. I'll do a lot for it. I'll do a lot to please the people watching, my fans, my supporters. I'll do a lot to do so. But I won't do that.
Yeah. No, it's like eminently reasonable. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. No, and it's like super telling. Like I'm really just gonna be thinking about the Christians spamming too. As if this doesn't make them look like, I don't know, like room temperature IQ levels of comprehension. Like, if you don't understand that, like, you're cooked. Like, I don't even know what place we have for you in society. Like, I can't even lie.
Dude, it's, you know, what I've really came to realize is that the average human is not smart at all. It is, like, so crazy to me. I legitimately want to interview the people saying that I lost. I just want to ask them about how they function in daily life. Like, I want to ask them about how they function in society, like how they get literally anything done.
Yeah, excuse me, can I talk to your caretaker or something like that? Like, there's no way these people live like autonomously.
Yeah, for real. Maybe Ian, maybe the Christian God is real, and we are currently in hell. And this is our punishment.
We're in the bad place.
We're in the bad place for real.
Oh,
Cool.
God.
Thank you for that, mustache.
Yeah.
I think
Yeah.
I'm gonna go. What time is it? We've been live for like 2 hours. Okay. Yeah. Honestly, feel free to hang out up here. We're gonna go ahead and do a couple more debates. I was thinking about a restart, but I'm gonna end in like 45 minutes anyways. So if you want to hang out and chill with us up here, feel free. But everyone watching, we're now talking about why being a lesbian is wrong. So y'all only hop in those guest requests if you think being a lesbian is wrong. Let's go ahead and move on to our next guest here, chat. Let's go ahead and see what. I just randomly clicked on GAC again. Wow.
Oh, God, that would be so sad.
Let's go ahead and see.
The blender of a lifetime.
Dude, please. Well, I want to see what Big AP 707 has to say. Okay, Big AP is 707 is actually not loading in. So we're going to go ahead and move on to our next guest. Let's go ahead and see what Sammy has to say here. Okay, you know what? I'm going to go ahead and hit a restart. Yeah, no one's loading in. Ian, hey man, I appreciate you for coming up.
Yeah.
My stream is acting so funky.
Yeah, thanks so much for coming on, or for having me on up here. It's always a pleasure.
Hell yeah. Well, I appreciate you. Have a good rest of your day.
Yeah, you as well.
All right, yo, dude. We love them, chat. They're fucking awesome. We love Ian. Let's get some WENs in that chat. But for everyone watching, we're actually going to go ahead and do a little bit of a restart. We're going to stay on the same topic, why is being a lesbian wrong? We've debated abortion and God today, and it's just been terrible. You know, honestly, everyone, y'all should join the Discord, so after my stream is over, we could just laugh at how terrible the debates were. How, like, idiotic these people are. Jesus Christ. The things I go through for y'all. Love y'all. All right, restart time. I'll be back. Bye, guys. Via Random, Kelp, Kate, Light, Cupcake, Shannon, thank you for the hand arts. What's up, Kat and Cora and Fredo and Kelp and Ray and Fee? Yo, so we are going to go ahead and hop right back into the debates today, or more like tonight. We are going to be asking individuals why they think being a lesbian is wrong. So if you're watching the live and you think it is wrong to be a lesbian, make sure to hop in those guest requests. We're going to start letting our first guests of the night up here very shortly, y'all. So in the meantime, make sure to double tap on that phone screen and make sure to share out this live with a couple friends. And if you don't have friends, you know, just copy that damn link. Also, make sure to say what's good in that chat. If you're just coming in here, say what's good. All right, without further ado, let's go and move on to our first guest of the night. Make sure at least 18 years of age if you are in those guest requests, y'all. Let's go ahead and see what our first guest has to say. What's up? Do you think that being a lesbian is wrong? And they automatically left. Let's get some L guests going. Moving on, guys, make sure you're following the rules. Make sure you think it's wrong to be a lesbian, and make sure you're at least 18. What's up, Ryan? Do you think that being a lesbian is wrong? Ryan has no vocal cords. Let's get an L stage fright in the comment section. Moving on to our next guest. Lamal, best late night host. I hope I provide. All right, what is up, Erosion? Do you think that being a lesbian is wrong?
Yeah, I think lesbians being kind of wrong.
And I got a question real quick. How old are you?
I'm 19.
Awesome. So why do you think that being a lesbian is wrong?
Sorry. As a lesbian myself, I think lesbians very wrong because all they do is break my heart.
All right, moving on to our next guest. We don't have no time for that shit. I mean, base guest for being lesbian, but like L guest for wasting my fucking time. Guys, please don't troll. What's going on? Do you think that being a lesbian is wrong? Damn, that was a fetus and a half. Oh my God, Chad, we are getting raided by Jake Paul. We are currently
Nigger.
We are currently getting raided by Jake Paul. Okay, he just spammed the N-word. I apologize for his use of slurs. Moving on to Frankie. Yeah, chat, listen, I'm sorry that this ain't working out. Just be patient. Give us some time. It was way past that fetus's bedtime. What's up, Frankie? Do you think that being a lesbian is wrong?
I'm sorry, I'm kind of nervous. But, I do, just because...
What the fuck is going on with your mic? You sound like you're at the bottom of the Atlantic Ocean. Are you in that submarine that collapsed there?
Get closer.
Oh my God, hello. Hey, so do you think that being a lesbian is wrong?
Yeah, I do, because it's not even religion based. It's a feeling. Like, why is it that the universe or whatever is out there? I haven't, like, it's never like been presented, but men
So
over
let
men.
me just get it straight. You just have a feeling that being a lesbian is wrong. What
Like,
is the
I
difference
feel
between?
guilty. It's shameful.
Hey,
I feel
Frankie,
guilt.
what is the difference between your feeling that being a lesbian is wrong and Hitler's feeling that being Jewish is wrong?
Okay, so you're saying my feelings are invalid.
Yeah.
But,
Can you tell
okay,
me?
so then
Can
what
you
do I
answer my
listen to?
question?
Okay, what? Say it again.
What is the relevant distinction between your feeling that being a lesbian is wrong and Hitler's feeling that being Jewish is wrong? See, if you can't tell me the difference between you and Hitler, maybe you're in the wrong.
Okay, well, that, it seems sad, but I guess I just sympathize for way too many people. So I would understand, like, why Hitler did what he did, but even if I thought it was fucked up.
What the fuck, dude? All right, we are gonna go ahead and move on. What the fuck did they just say? That bitch, thank you for the baby dragon. I appreciate you for the love. What the fuck was that?
You smell like shit, you fat hoe. Kill yourself. Nigger, nigger,
wow.
nigger, nigger, nigger. Nigger, 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 nigger.
All right, we went ahead and go put them on mute. Actually, their middle school is in their bio. I'm actually gonna go ahead and like screenshot that. Their full name too. It's Jared Brank, and their middle school's in their bio. Dude, hey, Jared Brank. I have a lot of people that don't like what you just did. I'm going to tell them to find your school, and then I'm going to directly call your school on the next 8 through 5 Monday, and I'm going to tell your teachers, and I'm gonna tell your principal that you, Jared, came up here telling me to unalive myself, spamming the N-word. So I am gonna go ahead and just give you one chance, though, to apologize. So I want you to unmute your mic and apologize to me and everyone watching. Go ahead, unmute your mic.
No, I'm not apologizing. You smell like straight dog shit.
Oh my God. All right. Yeah, their school's getting emailed. I was going to do it anyways, but like, oh God, okay, moving on. Moving on. All right, let's go to see what Fredo has to say. Dude, cooked, bro. This next generation, it's cooked. Children, am I right? Hey, what's up? Do you think that being a lesbian is wrong?
Are you a lesbian?
No.
Oh, so you're just asking whether you think it's wrong.
Wow, you have quite the observational skill set. Hey, do you think being a lesbian is wrong?
Well, given wrong is subjective and it's based on opinion, yes. And it's my entitlement to my opinion, and I don't have to justify it.
So why is being a lesbian wrong?
I don't have to justify it because
so what's the difference?
Subjective.
Hey, so Fredo, what is the relevant distinction between your opinion that it's wrong to be a lesbian and Hitler's opinion that it's wrong to be Jewish?
Because Hitler's opinion is based on ethnicity, mine's based on someone's sexual preference.
I asked you for the relevant distinction that would make your opinion just and his unjust.
I just gave you a relevant distinction.
So I'm particularly asking you for the difference that would make you right and him wrong.
Because I just said his is based on ethnicity and mine is based on sexual preference. I just gave you the basic. If you don't understand it, then maybe you need to go back to school.
So I don't know if you just didn't hear me. I'll just go ahead and repeat it. I'm not asking you for the difference of y'all's opinions. I'm asking you what the relevant distinction is that justifies your opinion as being true and his opinion as being false.
Well, his opinion is based on discrimination against ethnicity, and mine is...
Okay, so just so put it out there, Fredo actually can't give me the difference between him and Hitler, so we're going to go to move on. Hey, wait, I see Christian in your bio. Are you sure you don't think that being lesbian's wrong because the Bible says so? Go ahead and unmute that mic.
It's irrelevant. My opinion is that...
Can you give me one verse in the Bible that tells us being a lesbian is wrong?
Sexual immorality.
Yeah, so what verse in the Bible tells us that being a lesbian is wrong, sir?
Sexual immorality.
Yeah, sexual immorality, that's not a verse.
I don't have to go through it. Clearly states in the Bible that sexual immorality is a sin.
Yeah. Where?
In the Bible.
Yeah, what
if you don't know where it is, look it up.
So an example of a verse is like John 3:16.
Everybody who has read the Bible understands that clearly it says sexual immorality, fornication.
Yeah, could you please show us where the Bible lists being a lesbian as a sexual immorality?
Things that are not natural between man and a woman.
So it's very obvious that he actually can't give us the verse. So the only verses in the Bible that mention such concepts are going to be Leviticus 18:22, Leviticus 20:13, Genesis 1:19, Romans 1:24 through 32, 1 Corinthians 6 through 9, as well as 1 Timothy. So it's like the only issue here is that you actually don't know your fucking Bible, you haven't studied that shit, but you just simply like to use Christianity and from turning it in from a symbol of peace into a weapon of hate to disenfranchise, harm, and marginalize communities such as the LGBTQ plus one on the basis of your own prejudice. And the simple mere fact that I, an atheist, know more about your scripture than you do is like really fucking embarrassing. So I hope that I, Professor Dean fucking Withers, have helped you, an ignorant Christian, out in understanding your scripture. But prior, you couldn't give me a verse that told me that being a lesbian is wrong. I gave you about 8 that you might be able to use in an attempt to justify your moral claim. So I'm just going to simply ask you to go and read your fucking scripture, come back, give me the verse, read it off so I can dismantle it. Additionally here, you can give me an argument to support the existence of the Christian God as a whole.
Did I mention the Bible, genius? You're the one who brought up Christianity. I never brought it up at all.
Yes, you absolutely did mention the Bible. You mentioned sexual immoralities and tangent to being a lesbian in the context of the Christian scripture. Right after you tried to give me some weird straw man, red herring to justify your opinion, aka your prejudice that being a lesbian is wrong because all opinions are subjective. At the end of the day, get fucking dunked on. I'm smarter than you. I'm better than you. I'm smarter than you. To the infinite degree. So we're gonna move on to our next guest. What is up, Vanilla? How old are you?
I'm 14.
Okay, get the fuck out of my live. You got to be at least 18 to be in TikTok
You
Live.
fucking ass nigga, bro, cook you.
We're going to move on to our next guest. Let's go to see what Daryl has to say here. Dude, I love just intellectually dunking on these people. Hey, what's up? How old are you?
Oh, no, I'm 15, but I love you, Dean. I love you. I love you, Dean.
Okay, what is up with all these children? I appreciate you for the love. You got to be at least 18 to be in those guest requests, and you got to think that being a lesbian is wrong. All right, we're going to move on to our next guest. Let's go and see what they have to say, chat. Remember, everyone, we are just looking for some debates here today. Hey, what's up? How old are you?
Oh, I didn't mean to get on here. My bad, Pamp.
What is going on with the guest request, bro? Moving on to Kylie. Hey, what's up? How old are you?
18.
What year were you born in?
2005.
Nice. Do you think that being a lesbian is wrong? Okay, she just automatically left. This is really annoying. Hey, what's up? How old are you, Katie?
Hello.
Hi, Katie. How old are you? 18. Nice. Do you think that being a lesbian is wrong?
18. I do.
Okay, yeah. Why so?
Well, again, I am a Christian. I don't know if it says it in my bio, but as you pointed out in many different Bible verses, it does say that. I don't know which ones exactly, so,
Okay,
But,
so Katie,
I just don't.
so yeah, if you can't give me the specific Bible verse, you're just ignorant as shit, Katie. Go read Leviticus, Genesis, Romans, Corinthians, and Timothy. Get the fuck out of my live. And once you do, actually come back with scripture. Because you saying some dumb shit that it says it's wrong in the Bible, but then you can't substantiate that claim is really embarrassing. Go ahead and unmute your mic. What's up? How old are you?
Damn, 20.
Sweet. Do you think that being a lesbian is wrong?
Nah.
Okay, get out of here, bro. Why can't we find a single debate? Why can't we find like a single debate, bro? Hey, what's up? How old are you?
Oh shit, my bad. W Dean though. W Dean.
We're just looking for debates.
Yeah, my bad.
Hey, how old are you?
I'm 18.
What year were you born in?
August 11th, 2003.
Okay. How old are you?
Nigger, 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 nigger.
Okay, so in your bio, it gives your social medias. In fact, it gives your Snapchat. I appreciate you for that information. No college for you. All right, they're not loading in. Oh, Kaylee, I know you don't disagree. Love you, Kaylee. We're just looking for debates, though. Hi, do you think that being a lesbian is wrong?
Yes.
How old are you?
I'm 18.
What year were you born in?
05.
What month?
June.
What day?
15.
Okay, that's fine. Yeah, do you think that... So why do you think that being a lesbian is wrong?
Well, I got 2 points. One, I think is generally wrong, and then two, based on religion.
Can you give me an argument?
Well, God created Adam and Eve, and nowhere in the Bible does it say that the same sex reproduce, so it doesn't really make sense.
Okay, so God created Adam and Eve. No, he fucking didn't. In fact, the genealogy from Adam to Jesus dates back about 4,000 years, and the Bible lists the genealogy, so this is coming from Scripture. Then, of course, from Jesus to us is another 2,000. So this would tell us that Adam and Eve were on Earth 6,000 years ago.
And I think
the only
Jesus
issue,
is God because Jesus is God and God is Jesus because...
I was actually not talking about like Jesus at all. Can I go ahead and continue to make my argument?
Go ahead.
Yeah. So according to the genealogies of the Bible, Adam and Eve would have been on Earth about 6,000 years ago. But the only issue with this is historically inaccurate, as we have evidence of humans on Earth as early as like 45,000 years ago. So this would directly contradict the Genesis account of creation, showing it to be false. So therefore, it was not Adam and Steve, but it also wasn't Adam and Eve. And then additionally here, Shauna, thank you for the $20 on Venmo. I appreciate you for the love. W Shauna in the comment section.
What? Adam and Steve? What?
Can you respond to my argument?
What is your argument? I'm so confused.
Yeah, Adam and Eve were not real people. The Genesis account of creation is false, and this is proven given the fact that we have historical remnants of humans on Earth from 45,000 years ago, and according to the scripture, Adam and Eve, aka the first humans, would have been on Earth 6,000 years ago.
Okay. So you just don't believe in God then, basically, is what you're saying.
That's not even relevant, bro. I'm just saying it wasn't Adam and Eve. So you specifically said that being a lesbian is wrong because it was Adam and Eve, but we've now disproven Adam and Eve. So this is not a valid critique of why being a lesbian is wrong. So what's your argument?
Okay, we'll get off of that and we'll go to like outside of religion. How are we supposed to reproduce if there's just a bunch of females just like, you know, hitting it off and stuff, like scissoring and stuff? That's just weird. You know what I mean?
Yeah, hey, buddy, scissoring doesn't lead to reproduction. Is that why you think it's wrong?
What?
Is that why you think it's wrong?
No, I think it's wrong because humans are supposed to reproduce. That's what I'm saying.
Okay,
like,
yeah, is it wrong for me to marry and engage in intercourse with an infertile woman?
No.
Okay, but
what's
we can't
wrong?
reproduce.
Okay, so what? They can't reproduce. What's wrong? There's nothing wrong with engaging in intercourse. That's with anyone really, but like if it's a lesbian.
I mean, do you like do you understand, like, chat, like, I just don't even know how to like articulate how like idiotic this guy must be. So he makes an argument that like engaging in lesbian intercourse is wrong for the reason that it can't yield reproduction. But then I'm like, why wouldn't it be wrong for me to engage in intercourse with an infertile woman? And he's like, so what? Who cares that it doesn't lead to reproduction? Y'all were doing it for pleasure. Bro, rocks banging against each other in your empty skull.
Okay,
the
so
lights
what's
are
wrong?
on, but no one is home.
So let me ask you this question: What is wrong with engaging in
fucking rocks? Do you hear these are rocks. This is what is in your head.
What? Oh my god! What is wrong? What is wrong with? Oh my god, bro! You are.
Yeah, you can't even. Are you? You're like, are you? What are you doing?
You're so lost.
Me? I'm lost?
Okay, so I have a question for you, then, real quick.
Uh-huh.
What's wrong with an infertile woman having sex with a dude? What's wrong with that?
Nothing, right? And this was the point that I was trying to show you, because we'd say that there's literally nothing wrong with an infertile woman engaging in intercourse with a man, even though it will never end in reproduction. And this is exactly what I'd be saying about two women engaging in intercourse, right? There's nothing wrong with it, even though it will not lead to reproduction. So your entire argument that it's wrong because it doesn't lead to reproduction is therefore made invalid. But if you'd say that it is still wrong for the reason that it doesn't end in reproduction, well, then you are just logically contradicting yourself out the fucking ass.
Okay, well, as a Christian, I don't believe in pleasure for no reason, all right?
So then why wouldn't you find it wrong for me to engage in intercourse with an infertile woman? That is literally the definition of pleasure with no greater purpose of reproduction.
I guess I heard you wrong. And it wasn't until I even read the comments that
Hey, I got a question. What are the first 4 books of the New Testament of the Christian Bible?
Do you know this?
What is the first book of the Christian Bible?
Genesis.
How about the last?
The last? Was it Revelations?
It's actually not. No, it's called Revelation. So.
Okay. Oh, because I added S. It's wrong. Okay, that's.
Yeah. So, how long ago did Jesus rise from the dead?
I don't remember exact amount of years.
Give me a rough estimate.
Maybe. I mean, according to the Bible, maybe like 4,000 years, something like that.
I'm going to fucking start
I don't even remember that.
I'm going to bawl my eyes out. Tears are going to start rolling down my cheeks.
Why we got...
Ladies and gentlemen, I am in pain. I am in so much pain. I am hurting.
Yo, my nigga, I'm just here to say you're insecure as fuck. You don't let people debate. Actually let people have a debate with each other. Lesbian is wrong. Shut up, nigga.
Why
don't
do you
talk
think
to
it's
me.
wrong, Juan? Don't leave. Don't run.
Alright,
Or else
fine.
we're
I
gonna
won't-
challenge
I won't
ban
leave.
baby bottles. Jesus fucking dude, what is this? Am I in a fucking is this like a am I on like a hidden prank TV show?
I don't know.
Am I walking the prank, Juan?
I don't even know what you're saying.
Why is being a lesbian wrong, Juan?
Because God created a man and woman.
Oh my god, what's your religion?
Catholic.
Catholic. Hey, I got a question. Is ethnic cleansing in the sense of genociding a group of people because of their ethnicity always wrong?
What?
What the fuck? You're 12?
No, I'm not actually 12. Do I sound 12?
No, you don't.
Exactly.
How old are you?
15.
Oh, get the fuck out of here, fetus. Bro, moving on to what is going on? Listen, chat, hop in those guest requests if you think that being a lesbian is wrong. I can't handle this tonight. Y'all, I'm gonna need some reimbursement for this shit. Venmo and PayPal in the bio. I'm gonna need some reimbursement for whatever this shit is. I am in hell right now. Sarah, are you just automatically gonna leave because for whatever reason you decided to request but then leave? Like, I just don't even. I just can't even. Oh god. I just can't even. I'm walking the damn prank. I'm walking the damn prank. What is up, low life? Do you think that being a lesbian is wrong?
I mean, yeah, with free will, I mean, everyone, I mean, no, you could be whatever you want, but I mean, morally, yeah, it is kind of morally
Yeah,
wrong.
so why is it morally wrong?
I mean, also what you're doing too, like, you got a whole bunch of 15-year-olds coming in here and you're indoctrinating them that being gay is okay.
You can't say the word gay while you can only say the word lesbian.
Hold on, 30 seconds, please. Give me my 30. I'll give you 30. You got to hold.
No, I have to cut you off because if you're on the live, you have to follow TikTok's terms of service. You can't say the word gay on the live. You can only say the word lesbian. But could you just tell me why? Like, you think that... Okay, he just left. Moving on. Hi, Jace. How old are you?
I'm 18.
And in what year were you born? You kind of have the lisp of a fetus. It's not like an actual lisp. I want to clarify that. It's not an actual lisp. It's just like this sound that like all minors produce when they speak.
What does that have to do with being a minor?
It's just like this sound that minors produce when they speak. I just don't even know how to clarify
you kind of one too, so I don't.
So what year are you born in?
2006.
In what month?
There's two of us. She was born in 2005, but yeah, 2006 February, and 2005 of November.
Fine, whatever. Okay, yeah. Do you guys think that being a lesbian is wrong?
Yes.
Okay, why so?
Because God created a man and a woman, and He didn't make a woman and a woman. He made a man and a woman in the beginning.
God created Adam and Eve. Eve, not Adam and Steve.
Okay, so I'm just gonna go ahead and ask you this question: did God intend humanity to only do good things?
No, and I'm not saying that.
No, so God intended humans to do bad things. So
no, but He created. There is good and bad for a reason, and that comes being lesbian or whatever.
Hey,
the story is that God
humans to sin.
No, God created men. Listen, can you give me like 5 seconds? God created a man and a woman. Yes, He created Adam and Eve. They were perfect and pure. To begin with. And then Satan, if you know the story, Satan tempted Eve with an apple, and that is what created sin. And so God did not intend for men and women to have sin. It's literally a story written in the Bible. It's not made up.
Why are you banging your head on the laptop?
JC, are we ready for my counter argument?
Yes, go ahead.
So
go for it.
God intended humans to only do good things. True or false?
Yes.
False.
He did in the beginning, and then he changed.
God intended humans to also do bad things then?
No.
He gave us the option.
God only...
Okay, He gave us the option.
Did God want humans to sin, or did God not want humans to sin?
He doesn't want humans to sin, but He
God
gives us the option.
Didn't want humans to sin, so God intended humans to only do good things. I'm so fucking glad we cleared that up, JC. Moving on to my next point. So when God created humanity, He also created humanity to be fruitful and to reproduce. Okay? And, what was the only way that the children of Adam and Eve could reproduce? By fucking each other. They had to commit incest. There's no other way around it. So, from the beginning, God wanted humans to commit incest. Okay? And if God wanted humans to only do good things, this means that it was a good thing for them to do incest. So I guess my only question for you, JC, is would you fuck your brother? Because it's a good thing to do incest in the eyes of the Lord Almighty. I need you to unmute that mic, JC. I need you to unmute that mic.
Wait, can you hear me now?
I sure can. Can you answer my question? Would you fuck your brother because it... Yeah, well... Yes?
No, I said I was letting you ask your question.
Sweet okay, I'll ask it again. Would you fuck your brother because in the eyes of our Lord Almighty, incest is good?
That was never said actually in the Bible.
Actually, it is implied because remember, the only way for humans to reproduce from the beginning, aka the children of Adam and Eve, was by fucking their brothers, fucking their sisters, fucking their mothers, fucking their fathers. That was the only way that reproduction was possible. There's no other way. So
But what does
regardless
that
of the
have
fall of man by
anything to
free
do with our world right now?
What does that have anything to do with being lesbian?
So God, wait
Yeah,
one second.
sorry,
God
your
wanted,
question was-
God wanted that to occur. It's the only way for it to happen. Not to mention God's all powerful, so He could have made reproduction possible via some other means, but He didn't. Right? And then also, apart from that, because God made incest necessary, humans couldn't just freely choose to not commit incest. So free will is not of objection here. And because God only intended humans to do good things and He made incest necessary for them to do, this means that God necessarily thinks incest is a good thing. All right, so now that we understand both that the Garden of Eden is in Sweet Home Alabama and that we understand that incest is a good thing, I got one and one only question for you. Would you fuck your brother? Would you do it? Unmute that mic. There you go.
No.
Oh, so you'd go against the Lord Almighty and His command and decree.
No, that
and
is not a
state
commandment.
incest
That-
is a
you're
good
not
thing?
even making
Cassie, I
any
appreciate you for the
sense.
$5 on PayPal. Appreciate you for the love. So what particular part of my argument does not make sense? Maybe I can clarify it for you.
It was not a commandment to commit incest, actually.
Well, do we notice how God necessarily had to think that incest was good in order
Because it's
for him
implied
to-
in the Bible does not mean that it's a commandment, actually.
If incest were good with our sibling, if it was supposed to happen with our siblings, then there wouldn't be there wouldn't be weird genetic things that happen when you have that with your
So
siblings.
incest
Well, it doesn't
is
work.
bad, and it is not
Yes.
supposed to happen. So then God intended
Nowadays,
humans
no.
to sin. Listen, so God intended humans to sin. Because the only way for the children of the children of Adam and Eve to reproduce was through incest. There was no other goddamn way for them to get it on.
Okay,
and to
here's the
reproduce.
thing.
So God made it necessary for them to commit incest. And according to you, incest is morally wrong, so God intended humans to sin. So if God intended humans to sin, then how the hell is God all good? I rest my case, JC.
Adam and Eve are two people that they don't have any like birth defects down the line of people of their families or anything. They're two people that were created pure and they were given the option to sin, and that's when they did.
Oh,
So-
wait, are you saying that when the children of Adam and Eve reproduced through incest that they were doing something wrong?
What do you mean? No.
No, so incest isn't wrong. Mog, baby.
No, the Bible times. Not the beginning of the world, no.
Babe. Boom. So is
If it
God's
wasn't-
moral law
it's not
changing or
incest.
unchanging?
What? Okay, can you repeat that again?
Does God's moral law change or not?
He doesn't have moral law at the beginning of the Bible. He has the 10 Commandments. It does not
Let me
say
reword
incest.
the question. Does what God think is good, does that ever change?
No.
So therefore, because he thought incest was good back then, that means he thinks incest is good now.
No, because you have to start from somewhere.
Well, JC, you've already said that he thought incest was good back then, and you've said that what God thinks is good is never changed.
I did not say that he thought incest was good.
So did he think it was good or bad back then?
No, because it wasn't incest, because that's how
they-
created it to be.
Wait, so you could fuck your sister without it being incest? You should go tell the Sweet Home Alabamians that. They'd eat that shit right up, JC.
Okay.
They'd love you. They'd love you, JC.
Okay.
They'd love you. You should go profess the good word of God that you could fuck your sister without it being considered incest. Go profess the good word of God, JC.
No, okay. So anyways, this has nothing to do with being lesbian. Now,
Oh, you're backtracking. What is incest,
no, I'm not backtracking.
JC?
I'm going back to the original argument.
What
that we're
is
actually supposed to be
incest?
talking about.
Can you define the word incest?
It's fucking your brother.
So when the children of Adam and Eve were fucking their brothers and fucking their sisters, was that incest, JC?
No. Not in the beginning of the Bible times.
But you just said if you fuck your brother, that's incest. But apparently it wasn't incest back then. So
in
they were fucking their brothers.
2024, yes. Yes, that's wrong because we have if you fuck your brother, you're probably gonna have a messed up kid.
Oh, are you saying that incest is only wrong when it leads to malformed offspring?
No, but I'm saying that...
Pumpkin, I appreciate you for the glowing jellyfish. Let's get some W pumpkins going into the chat. JC, I'm going to go ahead and intellectually dunk on you. You said what God thinks is good literally never changes. And you told us that back then God thought them fucking their brothers was good. So, obviously, what this means, because God's moral law is non-changing, that fucking your brother today is also good. Because if it wasn't good today, that would mean what God thinks is good and what God thinks is bad is changing. But you already said that doesn't change. So either God thought brother fucking was good back then and good now, or God thought that brother fucking was bad back then and bad now. Which one is it, JC?
Hello?
Go ahead and answer the question, JC.
What did you say?
I told you to go ahead and answer the question. Because what God thinks is good and bad is unchanging. This means that God either thought it was good to fuck your brother back then and now, or God thought that it was bad
but you
to fuck
can
your
think
brother
this,
back
bro.
then and
Literally,
now.
there are different
Nobody
circumstances
thinks of that. That's because that's not how it is.
And this is not even what we're supposed to be arguing
So
about.
what's specifically different about the circumstances that justified it in the circumstance of Adam and Eve's children?
Adam and Eve's children?
Why was incest justified for them?
Because they
Not
got to
justified
reproduce
for
to
you?
make the rest of the world.
They were the first people on the world.
Okay, so what I'm hearing is that
They don't
it was
got the. They don't have the
necessary-
potential to have birth defects and all of that stuff
Oh,
that people
so
created
incest,
for ourselves.
Incest is not morally wrong if it doesn't yield the potential to produce birth effects.
No.
So if I fuck my mom, if I fuck my
believe-
sister,
hey,
would you say that those things would not
listen to
be
me for a
wrong
second.
as they would not yield the potential to produce birth
Hey, can I speak for a
defects
second?
if they were to both be infertile?
Can I speak for a second, please?
Uh-huh.
I believe that having intercourse is for the purpose of reproducing. So if you and your brother are freaking doing whatever.
Sure, I mean, you
yes,
could
it's
say
wrong.
it is wrong for a multitude of reasons, but would you say
It doesn't
that it's
matter
wrong
if you're
for the
going
reason that
to
it's
have a kid or
incest?
not. I think it's wrong. Yes.
Would you say that one of those reasons why it's wrong is because it's incest?
Yes.
So incest is still wrong even if it doesn't lead to malformed offspring. So it was wrong for the children of Adam and Eve to fuck.
No, because they're.
Why wasn't it wrong?
There's different circumstances for them.
What
because
were the different circumstances?
The different circumstances that there's nobody else on the planet for them.
So
to
they have to do it. You're saying it wasn't wrong because it was necessary to do.
survival. Yes.
Okay, so I got a question. If Eve didn't want to fuck Adam, but Adam wanted to fuck Eve, and he had to grape her in order to continue the human species as it would be necessary to do, would you
Okay,
say
so
that
we
that
went
grape
from
would
talking
be
about
wrong?
being lesbian to talking about.
Go ahead and answer my question. I just showed you the absurdity in that shit. You said that when, it's all about survival, all those morals, aka the idea that incest is wrong, flies off the fucking table, brother. So all I'm asking you, if Eve did not consent to engage in an intercourse with Adam, would it have been permissible for Adam to grape Eve in order to necessarily continue the human species? Do you condone SA in some circumstances? Go ahead and unmute that mic. There you go.
Right. I said no.
All right. So, grape is still wrong, even if it is necessary in order to continue humanity.
Okay, but
so
it
wouldn't
wasn't
we say
necessary and it
incest is
actually
still
never
wrong,
happened.
even if it was
Oh.
necessary to continue humanity?
The thing is that
No, so what's the specific distinction
wasn't because
between
it wasn't.
What's the specific distinction between grape and incest, which would justify it in the context of incest, but not to justify it in the context of grape?
Can you repeat that one more time?
So what's the specific distinction between grape and incest that would justify it in the context of incest, but not justify it in the context of grape?
Because forcing somebody to have sex with you is still whatever you're saying, graping. But incest, that doesn't apply to.
Hey, JC, what are the first 4 books of the New Testament? Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John. I got you. Hey, JC,
That is
can
not
you
the
name?
first 4. The first book of the Bible is Psalms. Matthew, Mark, and Luke and John is the Old Testament. It's the end of the Old Testament.
What?
New Testament.
Did you just say that the first book of the Bible is Psalms and Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John are in the Old Testament?
I said the
What
New
fucking hillbilly
Testament.
Bible are you reading? Did you get that fucking Timu Bible? Did you get that fucking Sheen Bible? I think JC is reading that Timu Bible. Apparently,
Genesis.
Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John are in the Old Testament, and Psalms is the first book.
No, Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John are in the New Testament.
All right, so you're not
And the
reading
book
that
of
damn
Genesis
Timu
is the
Bible.
first one. The book of
There
Genesis
you go.
is
You
the
cleared
first
it
one.
up. You read. You cleared it up. You read those comments. I got another question for you, JC. Can you tell me one verse in the Christian Bible that tells us that being a lesbian is wrong?
God created Adam and Eve.
That actually doesn't tell us that being a lesbian.
Okay, but if
is
you're
wrong.
going by that, if God implies that incest is okay, then then what do you mean that that's not implying?
Are you saying because God didn't create one of the first 2 humans as a lesbian, that therefore being a lesbian is wrong?
No.
No.
So then what the fuck is the implication? Maybe you can
Because-
explain it to me?
The purpose of 2 people coming together in intimacy is to reproduce and have
Okay, is it wrong for me to marry an infertile woman?
No.
We want to be able to reproduce, though, so it seems like this would be violating the purpose of
but
2
it's
people
still-
coming
it's a
together.
man- it's a
just
man and a woman.
Oh, so in other words, the reason that it's wrong to be a lesbian is because that's 2 women and not a man and a woman. So any other justification in which you've attempted to provide, such as the purpose of intercourse or marriage, Maddie, thank you for the $5 over PayPal, being reproduction, just completely goes out the window. Because I specifically asked you why it is wrong to be a lesbian, and you said because the purpose of intercourse is reproduction. But yet you'll tell me that it's totally fine for me to marry and engage in intercourse with an infertile woman, which is directly contradictory to the supposed purpose of intercourse and the supposed purpose of marriage. So in this sense, you are absolutely contradicting the fuck out of yourself, which utterly exposes your prejudice against lesbians. And this is quite embarrassing for you, JC.
Can I speak now?
You can respond.
Okay, thank you. Okay, so having intercourse, a man and a woman, it is for reproducing, and it's also for.
So then why isn't it wrong for me to fuck an infertile woman?
I'm saying that it's also for intimacy, but it is for a man and a woman. Yes.
So then why the hell is it? Well, it's for. So where does it say that in the Bible?
I don't know I don't know specifically, but that is what
Man,
it's for.
so all that you're telling me is you're just hiding behind your fucking Bible and your scripture and your religion. Within all due respect, you're actually just ignorant to your Bible. You're just ignorant to your scripture. You're just ignorant to your religion. And you cannot give a specific scripture from the Bible in your religion to justify why you think being a lesbian is wrong. That's pretty embarrassing for you, JC. You could have said Leviticus 18:22. You could have said Leviticus 20:13. You could have said Genesis 1:19. You could have said 1 Romans 24-32. You could have said 1 Corinthians 6-9. You could have said all of 1 Timothy, but you didn't. All right? But you fucking didn't.
Why are you asking me questions that you already know the answer to?
Well, actually, I asked you for the verse in the Bible that tells us being a lesbian is wrong. None of those verses say that being a lesbian is wrong. Christians just mistakenly take them to say that being a lesbian is wrong.
What's an example of
I
that?
could go through each verse and debunk each and every single one of them because I know more about Christian theology as well as the Bible than any damn Christian out there.
Okay,
You've
let's go
absolutely
through
no leg to stand on in this debate, and your beliefs and your prejudice against lesbian only result in the LGBTQ plus community as a whole being marginalized in societies around the globe, being harmed as a result of your unfounded and ignorant prejudice, and I quite frankly think that's detestable. You know what makes someone GAY? You know what makes someone lesbian? Besides the interior commissure in the brain, varying traits of the hypothalamus, and associations on the genetic code. Okay? Imagine you were born with all of those biological predispositions and you were attracted to women. And every day on this earth, you had to put up with a prejudice an ignorant hatred of people just like you. How would you feel? Would that suck?
I actually don't hate lesbians.
Oh, and now we get the pacifying comments. That's like someone saying, well, let me rephrase myself. That's like a misogynistic man saying, I don't hate women. I'm just superior to them.
No,
I don't hate women, but I'd only vote for a man to be president. I don't hate women, but men are obviously the alphas, the leaders, and the authority. See, that's kind of what you're telling us. You are telling all of the lesbians in my life right now, you are looking at them individually, one by one, in the eye saying, I don't hate you, but you're going to hell. I don't hate you, but you're going to burn in the fiery pits of Satan's domain. I don't hate you, but there's something about you that's inherently flawed. It goes against your own nature, and you're doing something you're not supposed to be doing. How the fuck would that make you feel? What if a racist came up here and he was like, I don't hate black people, but their skin's not supposed to be that color? You'd look at them like they're fucking insane. You'd look at them point and laugh. So why can't I look at you like you're fucking insane? Why can't I look you and point and laugh? Selena, I appreciate you for the $20 on Venmo. Double you, Selena, in the comment section. I appreciate you for the love. Double you, Selena. Go ahead, JC. Go ahead and speak.
Okay, so the way that you're speaking to me is degrading, and the reason that you're winning your arguments is because you're muting me. You're not letting me talk back to you. So you're not. It's not a conversation. It's just you stating all of your facts and not letting me speak. So
at least you called them facts. At least you called them facts. Ally JC saying it is a fact that lesbians are biologically predispositioned to be so. At least it's a fact that your prejudice perpetuates harm and marginalization against the LGBTQ plus community. At least it's a fact that that shit is ignorant, detestable, and has no space in society at large. Good job. Go ahead and continue.
Okay, final, whatever I'm going to say. I do not think that I don't hate lesbians. I don't hate gay people. I'm not against, don't think they're horrible people. I think that all people sin, and that's just the end of it. I sin. I'm also a sinful person, and I don't think that you're going to go to hell because you're lesbian, but I do think that all people sin, and that's one of them. End of story.
But JC, the only reason you think being a lesbian is a sin is because that's what your granddaddy says. You don't actually have evidence from the scripture. And I just want to point out how big of a problem this is. It doesn't fucking say that in the Bible. Nowhere does it say that. The only reason humans think this is because other humans say so. But let me tell you, if you're a Christian, what other humans say does not concern what is true and what is false, because you have a God that is above all humans, and this God determines what is right and wrong, not humans. And according to your religion, this God revealed to us what is right and wrong through the Bible. So the only way you can make the claim that being a lesbian is a sin is if the Bible says so, but the Bible doesn't say so. And before you say I'm wrong, you better come prepared with scripture in hand. You could go on pause and look it up if you'd like. I don't mind if Google helps you along our debate.
Okay, just 1 second.
As I expected you to. In the meantime, ladies and gentlemen, make sure that we are double tapping on that phone screen. Right? We have 77.8 thousand likes. Selena, thank you for the $20 on Venmo. I appreciate you for that love. W Selena in the chat. And Selena actually attached a very interesting message to her Venmo, by the way, guys. She says, tell her the truth, she's in the cult. And you are, JC. You're in a cult. You're no better than the Scientologists. You're no better than those people who drank the Kool-Aid in the 1970s.
Okay.
Because you're doing it metaphorically on live right now. So do you got that?
Did you find one? While she's looking for one. I understand how people think that it's a cult, but It's not.
How
so.
can you not use your little thumbs to twiddle away on your keyboard on Google.com finding a verse that says being a lesbian is wrong? Is it because it doesn't exist? Wow.
Okay. Genesis 19, the story of Sodom and Gomorrah. Do you know that story?
So it's pronounced Sodom, not Sodom, but let's see what you think that story is.
Okay,
or do you even know
the rundown of it. This has been held up as a cautionary tale about the sinfulness of homosexuality. However, many scholars point to Ezekiel 16:49 as indicating that the cities were destroyed by God for not helping the poor and needy. Some also say the sinful sex occurring in Sodom, is that how you say it? And Gomorrah was grape, which means it doesn't apply to teachings unconsensual same-sex relationships.
Mace, thank you for the $5 on Venmo. I didn't even need to fucking give you the context. Google just gave it to you. Yeah, God fucked up those cities
I know.
because the men in Sodom and Gomorrah literally raped an angel. And it looks like your own Christian theologian source explained that to you.
It's not a Christian, it's a website.
No, why don't you find the Christian
Yeah, it's
source?
a website.
Hey, so here's the thing. The story of Sodom and Gomorrah in Genesis 1:19 is very specific. So the men at the time, the societies at the time, they'd fight each other. Right? And when they'd fight each other, the winning side would grape the losing side in the ass. The men would do that. This is historically accurate. You could look it up. It's pretty nuts. And that's what God was condemning. And as made clear by the scripture that you just read, this is even stated in Ezekiel of the Bible. They were graping each other and graping angels. Okay? So when you try to conflate unconsensual intercourse to condemning very consensual love shared and expressed between two adult women, nothing more than irrationality does my mind pick up on. You know what? What if I fucking told you that when you engage in sexual activities with someone you love, that shit's synonymous to grape? You know, like, listen, you said you're 18. I bet you wouldn't like that very much, right? Cassidy, I appreciate you for the $10 on Venmo. W Cassidy in the chat, I appreciate you for the love. Do you have anything better for me, JC?
What do you mean better?
Any other verses in the Bible, JC?
Leviticus.
Do you like the book of Leviticus in the Bible? Do you like it? Do you?
Do I like it?
Uh-huh.
I have not read it.
Oh, I have. You know what Leviticus 25 talks about?
What?
Chattel slavery. In fact, it just gives this rundown about how God just really wanted his people, the Israelites, to own the non-Israelites as property for life. Right? And then in Exodus, God even said that they could beat them as long as they recover in a couple days. So what were you saying about Leviticus?
That's just a book of the Bible that talks about homosexuality.
Oh, being wrong. So you're going to source that book of the Bible as compelling reason why it's wrong to be a lesbian, and then ignore it when it gives compelling reason why it's not wrong to own slaves?
No, because you're interpreting it in very interesting ways.
Oh, no, JC. This is not interpretation of the text.
Oh,
it's the text in of itself. In fact, can you give me your interpretation, maybe? You have your friend's phone there. Go to Google, type in Leviticus 25, verses 44 through 46, and read them out loud.
Yes. 1 second.
I mean, chat, so she said my interpretation of the text was inaccurate, flawed, or whatever. I'm a Satan worshiper, so what the hell would I know? So we're going to get her interpretation.
You're a Satan worshiper?
Hail Satan. No, I'm just kidding. Satan's not real. Just about as fake as your God. So, all right. Well, anyways, you said that my interpretation of the text was so obviously flawed, so I want to know your interpretation. What does Leviticus 25, verses 44 through 46 read?
Okay. Your male and female slaves are to come from the nations around you. From them you may buy slaves. You may also buy some of the temporary residents living among you and members of their clans born in your country, and they will become your property. You can bequeath them to your children as inherited property and make them slaves for life, but you must not rule over your fellow Israelites ruthlessly.
Okay, so what's your interpretation of this text?
I don't know the context of it because I haven't read entirely the whole book of the Bible. So
JC, can I be honest?
Yes.
So when Christians tell me that they don't know the context of the scripture that says chattel slavery is permissible, therefore they cannot make a judgment on if the scripture is like good or bad. Like what context would like justify this? Seriously, the only thing I could think of is God in the next verse saying, "Lol, just kidding. Like fuck you, you're walk the prank." I don't like it. Would anything else satisfy him saying that chattel slavery is permissible?
I think that you're interpreting it in the wrong way.
What was your interpretation, JC?
I don't have one because I haven't read the entire book of Leviticus.
You don't have an interpretation of it? It says that, okay, well then how do you know that I'm interpreting it in the wrong way?
Because that's not how the world is.
Oh,
That's
really?
not how things are
No,
intended.
no, the Israelites used this scripture to enslave the non-Israelites for like over 1,000 years.
Okay.
And then even in like Emancipation era slavery in the US, the white plantation owners literally just took the book of Leviticus and called it the slave Bible, and then gave it to all the African-American slaves to make them feel like God wanted them there. No, this is an accurate representation of how the world is. You just don't know your history. Okay. And hey, Selena, I appreciate you for the $20 on Venmo. Selena, you are showing absolutely so much love tonight. I appreciate you so much. Double you, Selena, in that comment section. Thank you so much. Hey, also here, guys, if anyone else wants to support me, this is my full-time job. I live off of the support from y'all, which I'm incredibly thankful for. My Venmo as well as my PayPal.
There are people dissing on my boyfriend,
Thank you
bro.
so much. So you just said something about me like living a low life. Are you sure?
Me?
No, your friend. I want your friend to get on the mic and tell me why I live a low life. Let's hear it.
She didn't say that actually.
No, she did. I heard her. No, hop on the mic. Speak your truth, sister.
Okay, she's speaking.
You just speak your truth. Speak your truth.
Okay, well, we can't speak if you're talking over us. Speak.
I just feel like you're being extremely rude for no reason, and I feel like for
That's how
you
you're
to
making
come
money.
on here to say that this is how you make money, it just seems like, I mean, honestly, you do you. You do whatever you want, honestly. You do you. You live your life. You do whatever you want. I'm not going to sit here and judge you for what you do, but
I mean,
just the way you're
yes,
acting
we are,
just makes you seem like a child, and I just think it's about time you grow up and get a real job, so.
Goodbye.
No, don't leave. JC,
Oh.
don't leave. Don't leave, JC.
Don't
JC!
What are you doing?
I'm crying right now because you just said that I live a low life. I'm crying right now because you just called me rude. I am shedding tears. I'm shedding tears, JC.
wrong with him?
Oh, wait, actually, no, the fuck I'm not. Listen, on all reality, I could really care less. Because the truth of the fact of the matter is, Megan, thank you for the $5 on Venmo, that I don't think that I'm too apologetic about my rudeness to someone that so like ignorantly perpetuates very similar levels of rudeness against oh wait. What the fuck? TikTok is having me do a puzzle? TikTok detected inactivity. Okay, we're back. Wait. You know what? Spare me the theatrics. Audrey, thank you for the $6.66 on Venmo. I appreciate you for the love. Thank you so much, Audrey. They actually just left, but the point that I was making there is I could really care less about their concerns of my apparent rudeness, because I actually have no qualms and no issue with being very concise, direct, and honest with people that hold beliefs that actively perpetuate not only hurt feelings but ruin lives against marginalized communities. We're going to go ahead and move on to our next guest, though. And Audrey, thank you so much for the $6.66 on Venmo. All right, they didn't load up. We're going to go to move on to our next guest, Patrick. We saw Patrick gifting them when they were saying that slavery. Hi, Patrick.
Hello.
Do you think that being a lesbian is wrong?
Yep.
Oh, fuck no.
Hello, Dean.
Okay, why so? Sorry, I just got a concerning text.
Oh, it's pretty obvious. It's just, I think it should just be man and woman. I think it should just be, if there's no way they create.
Okay, hey guys, sorry. I have to end my live here. I love you guys and I appreciate y'all for showing up. I gotta end my live here. Listen, hey, real quick before I end, I appreciate each and every single one of y'all for showing up here today. We honestly had a pretty fun stream. I don't know if y'all haven't been able to tell. For like the last hour or so, we didn't take things like too seriously, and we were just kind of having fun with that last guest while still spitting facts. And I think that's something I kind of needed. So I just appreciate everyone for showing up so much. But real quick before we leave, you said in the chat that I fear you. Can you name one continent? No, okay, gagged. Anyways, so Maze, I appreciate you for the roses. All right, y'all, make sure to hit that follow button before you head out. Additionally here, if you want to join my Discord, the join code is just my name. It's just Dean. Then when y'all are on your way out, I would really appreciate it if y'all would go like and comment on my recent TikTok video. I posted it tomorrow. It really breaks down the debate that I had with Brooks, and I want to throw some more engagement at it. So I'd really appreciate y'all if you would, go like and comment on it. Lachlan, I appreciate you for the $2 on Venmo. All right, I love you all. Go raid AJ or Tashika or anyone in the community if they're live. Bye, guys.